And sometimes you just got to let those words wash over you. It is a brand new day, a feel-good day. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Graham Richards. You are live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in for what has been the start of an amazing week. We're halfway through the week. We're halfway through the month. We are flying through the year. Where is the time going? But we love having you in our company. I think that's why the time feels like it's passing so much more quickly. Thank you again for, of course, the role that you play in engaging with us so much. And we're going to continue on that trend this morning, encouraging you to share with us, maybe empathize with us. If you're having a rough week, if you're having a rough year, what do you do to unplug? Maybe it's a stress ball, maybe it's just a little bit of meditation, some mindfulness. What is your trick for relieving the work time stress? That's what we're going to connect with you on social media with today. Tabiso looks like he's having a rough day. Leanne is having the best day ever. Maybe you put the brakes on, do a little bit of baking, but you can let us know, how do you just revive and relieve that stress at work? You can hit us up on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. I think for me, as intense as our working environment can be, what always de-stresses me is when I see the beautiful faces of my cameramen, of my crew, of the guys working behind the scenes, and of course, my on-screen family. Good morning, team.
Good morning, G-Man. Good morning, South Africa. Welcome to it. Yes, it is a brand new day. It is Hump Day at that. That means we're going over that hump and stepping into right the middle of the week. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tapiso Makubela.
Yeah, I'm Katakamaboy reporting for duty. I hardly ever hear anybody as excited as you are to say the word Hump Day. It's Hump Day. Is that your highlight of the week?
I don't know. There's something about it. It just feels like we're getting closer. You feel like you're getting closer. Let's think about it this way. If you were going up Table Mountain and you were halfway to the peak, wouldn't that feel amazing for you? Wouldn't
the
that just make
philosophies
you
of
feel
Uncle
good?
Tabsy. I feel like that needs to be a Twitter account. The philosophies of Uncle Tabsy.
Let's work on
You can come up with a lot of stuff that can really inspire people.
Let's work on
like the
it.
Table Mountain analogy. I myself prefer Saturdays, but either way. The social media post today talks about how you go about relieving stress at work. How do you do it?
Oh man, it's about.
Do you experience a lot of stress at work?
I mean, I think most people do. I think anyone does, and especially in our job, there's always so much happening, and there's always so much that you're constantly having to learn. Especially for me, that you're having to learn and step into and getting into yourself, and it can be quite stressful. But I think taking a step back from the situation that's making you stressed and finding other sort of escape. So find like an escape and a place to sort of go to that makes you forget a little bit about the stressful area.
Do you have that?
I have that. I have that. My friends, but also the streets. The streets is where you de-stress.
The streets.
If you're wondering, the streets is where it's at. Just take a walk. Get out the house and take a walk.
The streets are filled with many corners and dark curves. You need to just give us maybe a Google Maps image of where it is that you hang out, and we can go there.
But I think it's finding that one place that you go to, and that one activity that you sort of get into when you need to forget about all the stressful things. And you, what do you do?
I don't know. Like yesterday, firstly at the beginning of the week, I challenged my best friend to like a 100 push-up a day thing.
Yeah, that sounds like the stressful part.
No. So you split it up throughout the day. You do like 10 here, 20 there, 5 there, whatever. Yeah. And I found myself just like quickly just like doing a few and then feeling like, okay, cool. Yeah. Whatever it is that I was thinking about, it's gone now because I was focusing so much on doing that. So a bit of physical exercise basically is what kind of helps me to de-stress.
100 push-ups, that's a bit
over
much.
The course of 12 hours?
Yeah, now I must phone you every 2 hours to show you, okay, I'm about to do the next 10.
You don't have to do that.
Hi, it's time.
If your best friend trusts you, then they know you did it, right?
Okay.
Anyway, let's take a look at what the weather looks like to help you prepare for the day ahead. If you're going to be in Johannesburg this morning, you can expect mainly sunny conditions with nice and warm temperatures and skies to be clearing up completely as the evening approaches. There'll be little to no wind expected, but humidity will be rapidly decreasing as the day progresses. So good times in Johannesburg. How about Durban? Plenty of sunshine with beautiful temperatures and clear skies for the entire day. A light southwesterly wind can be expected and should die down towards the evening, but temperatures do expect them to fluctuate throughout the day. If you're going to be in Port Elizabeth, also sunny conditions with clear skies for the duration of the day. A strong southwesterly wind expected to blow through the city throughout the day, and cloud cover slightly increasing towards the evening with humidity remaining quite steady. And here in the mother city, cloudy conditions with on and off rains and showers and occasional drizzles in the morning. Towards the evening, cloud cover will decrease and the rain should stop. So if you're looking to have that promenade run or maybe a little walk down the beach, it's ideal for that. A light breeze. Or the streets. And a light breeze can be expected for the duration of the day. So it's going to be quite a pleasant one all throughout. Are we moving into that post-winter, pre-autumn phase?
We totally are. Yeah, we totally are. And I'm starting to see it in what people are wearing, and especially in the types of jackets that we're wearing on this show, for example. I mean, like this jacket is the perfect
that's
sort
a street jacket right there.
That's a street jacket. But the nice thing about it is when you hear the weather, especially when it comes to Cape Town, you hear a light breeze is still expected. You're not going to try and brave it and walk out in just a shirt. You still want to make sure that you are prepared. But it's about finding the right type of jacket for when the weather conditions aren't really that cold, but you expect a little bit of a breeze. And for me, this type of jacket absolutely works. This is a Woolies jacket.
It's like that old school windbreaker.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
a windbreaker.
It's a windbreaker, but it's not padded, right? So this is just a really nice, very light type of windbreaker, and so it works across different seasons. You could even wear this in summer or in the spring times, but very ideal for weather like today, what we have in Cape Town, where there is a light breeze expected and cloud cover and all of those things.
Yeah, well, hopefully that helps you get ready for the day. But if you still need a little bit of a boost to get you over the line that is Hump Day, how about a quote of the day?
It's time for the quote of the day, and to bring us that quote, we've got an inspirational young lady who's just been named as Lady Thor. We're talking about none other than Natalie Portman, who is one of the most recognizable actresses of the 21st century. Also started her acting career.
Was it The Specialist?
I think it was The Specialist. She was, and she had a little
was the
bob.
assassin and
The Professional. There we
movie
go.
buff directors just comes in to save the day.
And she was fabulous in that role. She's gone on to earn herself an Academy Award. She's also a Harvard graduate, and she's published multiple scientific journals. She served as the youngest member of the annual Cannes Film Festival jury. And, ladies and gentlemen, she once said, when you get older, you realize it's a lot less about your place in the world, but your place in you. It's not how everyone views you, it's how you view yourself. Power.
Man.
Huh? Gotta love Natalie.
So she's wise and she's awesome and she's gorgeous.
And she's talented.
And she's a woman.
And
Happy Woman's
She's
Month.
everything.
Yeah,
she's
man.
everything. Nice.
That's beautiful, man. Well, hopefully that's inspired you to look at yourself a little bit differently as we broach those news headlines.
Yeah, just past the top of the hour, and here are your morning news headlines. Eskom yesterday said the grid had remained stable and there was enough power to meet the country's demands. And this was not the case a few months ago when the power utility had to resort to stage 4 load shedding. And while Cape Town dam levels are at 80%, the highest in 4 years, Karoo farmers are holding panic at bay as the 5-year drought that's gripped the region shows no sign of abating. On the international front, Ebola may soon be a preventable and treatable disease after a trial of 2 drugs showed significantly improved survival rates. 4 drugs were trialed on patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is a major outbreak of the virus. Now, flight check-in was suspended at Hong Kong International Airport for the 2nd consecutive day because of anti-government protests. Meanwhile, convoys of Chinese military police are mustering in the border city of Shenzhen. And finally, a new poll conducted by OnePoll among some 2,000 American children aged between 6 and 17 showed that 73% of them, surprisingly, would actually like more opportunities to bond with their families. Luckily, moms and dads searching for inspiration don't have to look too far, as the survey pointed out to the top activities children wish to do more often with their folks. So, parents, if you wish to make the most of your time in this coming spring and the weekends ahead, activities on the list are creating arts and crafts, hiking in the forest, lazing on the beach, exercising and playing sports, going to the movies, taking a trip to a museum or an amusement park, making and eating a meal together, and, wait for it, helping with homework. Can you say wow? Wow. Wow. Those are your news headlines at the start of this brand new day. Right now, let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Well, thank you so much. Very good morning. Welcome once again from my side. Let's delve into our cricket headlines first. Fast bowler Anrik Nokia, batsman Rudy Second, and spin bowling all-rounder Senuran Mutusami are three uncapped players who have been included in the Protea Test squad. And that's for their three-match tour of India in early October. Then on to rugby, getting closer to the World Cup. Springboks, they've called up uncapped Western Province hooker and incredibly nice guy Skara Untabeni and his provincial teammate Prop Wilco Low to join the squad in Pretoria. That, of course, as they prepare for their test match against Los Pumas on Saturday. And staying with rugby, the Springbok women's team took a step closer to qualifying for the 2021 Women's Rugby World Cup. That was when they claimed a 73-0 thrashing over Madagascar at the Bosman Stadium in Brakpan yesterday. More on all of those stories as we progress this morning.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Let's take a more comprehensive look at your weather. But first, your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much, Louise Sherry, for sending your sunrise picture from Blue Hills in Midrand, where mainly sunny conditions can be expected with nice warm temperatures and little to no wind, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful picture. Thank you so much. Jordan Lee Mika sent us his sunrise picture from Maun rather, in Botswana, where partly cloudy conditions can be expected with high humidity and a couple of evening showers expected, reaching a maximum of 31 degrees out there in Botswana. Thank you so much for that beautiful picture. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane with a low of 10, reaching a maximum of 27 degrees. And the highest temperatures in the country, that's in Mbombela today, 15 degrees, your low, reaching that high of 32 degrees. Pretoria, 11, reaching a high of 27. If you're out in Johannesburg, your minimum today is 9, reaching that maximum of 25. Mahikeng, beautiful day for you, plenty of sunshine. 12 is your low, reaching a high of 28. If you're out in Klerksdorp, 6 is your low, reaching that high of 26 degrees. Kimberley, 4 and 24. And if you're out in Bloemfontein, it's a cold start to the morning for you, 1 your minimum, reaching that high of 23. A couple of showers expected for Richards Bay. You've got a low of 15, reaching that high of 24 degrees. And Pietermaritzburg, it's 8 and 24 for you today. Durban, South Africa's playground, high humidity over there for you guys. It's 16 and 28, 23 as your maximum, and a high humidity in Tata, 4 and 23. A southwesterly wind of 24 kilometers per hour for East London. That's 12 your low, reaching a high of 22. Craddock has the lowest temperatures in the country today, -1, reaching a high of 21. A southwesterly wind of 28 kilometers per hour for Port Elizabeth, 10 and 28 your temperatures. George, you've got 8 and 18. If you're out in Sutherland, 1 is your low, reaching a high of 17. And Cape Town, brace yourself, high humidity day today. That's the day, 9 your low, reaching that high of 19. Worcester, 6 and 20. Springbok, 12 and 24. Uppington, your low is 8, reaching a high of 26. That's where we leave it for now. The next report in just over half an hour. Remember to send those pictures through to Expresso Morning Show, SABC3.
Do love those sunrise pictures. Do keep them coming. And it seems the sun keeps rising on the career of one Missy Elliott. What a true icon she is, right?
She was the one who told us if it's worth it, let her work it. Nobody knows what she's saying, but it's okay. It's provocative. Well, we are talking about the annual MTV Video Music Awards, which usually provides with so much commentary in the world of music and entertainment for weeks and weeks after they air. It is also the place where music's most controversial and historical moments have taken place. Do you remember the Britney, Madonna, Christina kiss back in 2003?
Yes.
That shook us. How about the Kanye West "I'ma let you finish" moment?
Yes.
You know,
and the haircut.
There we go. There we go. Beyonce is the greatest artist of all time. And then, of course, there is that Miley Cyrus foam finger of 2013.
What did the foam finger do?
Yeah, the foam finger was quite controversial.
Oh, I don't remember the foam finger.
Well, anyways, we can't anticipate what will make history on the night of the awards on Monday, the 26th of August, but we all already know who is set to make the history books beforehand. Yesterday, it was announced that trailblazing and iconic female rapper Missy Elliott, who was a mainstay on the popular music charts in the 90s and 2000s, will be the first female rapper to be awarded with a Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at this year's event. Now, the award is given to musicians and video directors who have made considerable achievements in their visual work over the years. And while the honor has been given out since the inception of the VMAs in 1984, it was renamed in 1991 in honor of the body of visual artistry and technique that was often in display in Michael Jackson's elaborate music videos. So fans of Missy Elliott will work it to the best to not lose control when the 48-year-old legend is bestowed with the honor, as all presentations of this award are preceded by what will only be considered as an earth-shaking medley of her greatest works.
My word.
You know that's going to be insane. So we can't wait to see Missy Elliott hit the stage.
How many Missy Elliott songs do you remember? Like if you were to go like on a quick spot quiz.
Yo, is it worth it? Let me work it. And then there's a lot of naughty ones.
Not a naughty one, you see.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations to Missy Elliott. Regardless, I'm sure it's going to be a highlight on the social media streets once she has done that performance and received that award. It's going to be lit. Is that another one?
No.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Casey and I pretend to be other people for a living. Come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure Carousel. To join me on the island, all you have to do is buy a bottle of Tropica, follow the entry details, upload a video of yourself telling me why you'd be my ideal partner. Upload it on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Hashtag TIOT9. And you could join me in paradise and find smooth fame and fortune.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Time to be inspired. In South Africa, we have an incredible amount of incredibly talented figure skaters, despite the sport not being highly publicized. In fact, you seldom see news stories about the sport, yet we have some incredible exponents, especially young skaters in the country. So we are going to address that right now. Two cooler than ice local figure skaters. I didn't script that, I promise you. Gian Quinn Isaacs and Evan Wrench will be competing internationally, representing our country next month. And here to join us to chat a little bit about their, I would imagine, pretty intense training regimes, what it takes to reach the level that they have. They're going to be on the couch along with Megan and Danton, their coaches, very proud coaches, I would imagine. Yeah. Guys, welcome to it. Thank you so much for joining us. Gian Quinn, I was joking, saying I've never had a Gian Quinn on our couch before, so it really is cool to connect with you. I think very few people know that we have skaters operating on the level that you guys have to be now, to be winning gold medals, to be SA champion, to be able to compete internationally, because the standard is incredible. How did you get into it? How does someone living in a country with zero ice and zero snow get into figure skating? What was, Gian Quinn, what was the buying point for you?
Well, my journey started, I was going to do ice hockey, but I needed the ice time, so I decided to join a club called Junior Blades on a Saturday morning.
Junior Blades. Yeah, it's good.
2 weeks in, Danton actually, he referred me to Megan, and the rest is history.
Danton, what did you see that kind of lit that light bulb for you?
I think Gian was always really, really talented, and I'm the head coach of the club. And so obviously it's my job to identify also skaters that are really talented. And at the time, Megan had just started coaching, so she was a new coach, and I felt that it would be an opportunity for her to have a young skater. And well, like I say, the rest is
just blown out.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine that relationship has to be there's a lot of trust, but you've got to push each other. How much do you have to push yourself, Evan? Because you're out there alone. As much as you've got a team around you, if you're representing your country, if you're going for a title, it's just you and the ice, dude.
Yeah, it is quite a difficult thing, because it's such a training, it's quite a team sport, but when you get out onto the ice in competition, it's very alone. So it is quite a difficult thing, and you know, it's something to take into consideration that it's only you out there, and like you have to go and do it, and that's a one shot.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
That's what being a champion is about. It's proving yourself. How hard do you have to train to achieve the level that these two young'uns have achieved in such a short amount of time, Megan?
Well, Gian, she trains at least twice a day, 5 to 6 times a week, and that's on the ice. And then she also does off ice for an hour for 5 times a week.
It's like lifting.
Yeah, in the gym.
It's one of the most athletically demanding sports ever. So how do you prepare to, so if I've got this right, we've got, you're both going to be competing in Latvia. Gian Quinn, you're going to Poland to compete. How much do you have to ramp it up to enter into the international field? Because now you're running with the big dogs.
Yeah.
I think it takes a seasons of preparation. You have to periodize the skater, and you decide when the very important date is, when you need to peak at which time, and then prepare, work out your plan to prepare to peak at that exact time. And sometimes it's not always, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes they are injured or something happens, and you have to adjust it and change the plan completely to accommodate that again, and then rebuild it and restart. And so it is a game of chess.
It's going to be all right, man. It's going to be all right, man. I can see the numbers in your head, like you can do it. Do you guys have signature moves? Is there, because there is so much about the athletic ability, being able to do the tricks, but there's a performance element. You're essentially also dancing on ice, and as someone who's delved into the Latin and ballroom space, that so much of it rests on your ability to be able to do the athletic, achieve that level. Do you have a signature move, something that you do that it's kind of people know you for?
Yeah, spread eagles or like in a bower. It's something that I always do in programs and in competition, that I've always done basically from a pretty young age. I've always been doing it, so I think that's pretty much it, doing that and pretty much doing my toe jumps in my program. I love it.
and dominating, and just dominating. So what's the end goal here? Olympics. What is the goal for you guys as young athletes? What do you want to achieve out of this?
Well, next coming season, I think for both of us is definitely Junior Worlds, where you have to qualify your program. So you have to skate, get a certain amount of points to qualify to get to that stage. So, and you can only do that at an international competition. So we're trying to aim for that.
Well, you've already, I want to say, kind of on that path, but rocketing towards that. Please keep us updated. Please, once you guys have returned from these championships with those valuable points, please come and join us again and keep us updated. I think there are a lot of young skaters that would be amazed to know that we have got skaters of this caliber, coaches of this caliber in the country. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Don't break a leg. I always say that to a performer. Please don't. Just stay healthy. And we'll put their social media details up on our social media platforms so you can show them a little bit of love as well.
Big or small, we've got it all. Everyone will find something at the Crazy Store. It's no wonder South Africa considers the Crazy Store the crazy fun place to shop. Well, it's time for us to play a little game, and this game is really amazing because it's going to put our Expresso guys to the ultimate test. They are facing off against each other this morning in what we're calling the Crazy Store Thingamajig Silly Straw Drinking Glasses game. Yes, it's a long title, but it's okay. So all we have to do today is watch them, and they're going to be competing to see who can sip down their McCafe frappes the fastest without getting brain freeze, and they're wearing these silly straw drinking glasses that's shaped into a set of spectacles that will give them a novel way to drink up and sip up in this game. So, gentlemen, there's no doubt that you will be the talk of the party with this thingamajig. So get ready, get steady, and get sipping. Boys, are you ready? Your McCafe frappes have been freshly made in 3, 2, 1, sip! All right, already Cat's in there. You can definitely see he's got a technique. Thabiso struggling as usual, but it's okay. Maybe he will surprise us this time round. Katlego, I think, has been a sucker most of his life, in a good way, there we go, keep going. He's focused, he's even making eye contact. He's gonna walk around, ladies and gentlemen. This is the confidence of Katlego Mabwe. Thabiso, on the other hand, bent over and still trying to find proper suction right now. It is looking dismal, very dismal. Oh, no, it's not, he says. It's not. Okay, actually, Thabiso's frappe is moving further down, Kat. Okay, taking a break. Okay, there we go. Thabiso, he's fine. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. There we go. There was blockage. There was a little bit of blockage, but Kat is sorting out the blockage by sucking the other way around. All right. Thabiso also now deciding to blow in to the frappe. Okay, there we go. While our gentlemen continue to do the most in terms of this amazing game, who wouldn't want these straws shaped into glasses? Now, here's something really cool. They are a fun party accessory, so don't forget to wash the straw glasses immediately after use so you can use them another time. The Thingamajig range is exclusive to the Crazy Store, a range of little things that create big smiles. So it's definitely creating a lot of laughs and a lot of big smiles. I don't think that they've worked this hard in their lives. We've got about a minute left, gentlemen. Keep on sucking. There we go. All right, so far, if I could just determine the, it looks like Kat's frappe is a little bit lower than Thabiso's. No, Thabiso's wanting to launch a probe. Thabiso wants to launch a probe. Kat's is just a little bit lower. Come on, guys, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds, and then we're going to measure. You got this. All right, there we go. this is where it all comes down to the wire, gentlemen. It all comes down to the wire. Will you walk away victorious, or will you be left with a very weak jaw? All right, here we go. Shall we give them a countdown, ladies and gentlemen? All right, everybody together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, give your straws a rest. Oh
my gosh.
How did that feel? Huh?
Oh, that was exhausting. That was a jaw exercise.
Was that exhausting? You guys look exhausted. Okay, let me quickly
Don't mix them around.
deliberate.
Don't
No.
mix them around.
Let me quickly deliberate and see how far we got here. Okay.
Woo, equal measure.
Wow, equal. Really?
Hold on. No.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely equal.
No. Look at
Nah.
this. Look at
Look at that.
Please be fair.
Okay, I'm going
You
to
can
need
clearly
for
see
the
that.
television
draw.
match official
Can
to
you get like a
help me.
close up on that shot?
Can we get a close up on this? I need the TMO to get involved.
Not like with. Look at this.
It's a draw.
Oh no ways! You've got to be kidding me! If you look at where it goes
Okay,
down.
you know what I'm going to do? This is a tiebreaker. I'm
Yeah,
going to
it's a
put another
draw.
10 seconds on this. Okay, get your sucking action ready. All right. Okay, gentlemen, this is going to determine everything.
You gotta wait for the count.
Gentlemen, yeah. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, suck.
Come on.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to count you down again. All right, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop sucking. Stop sucking. Okay. I think
Come on.
that one's a bit lower.
You got to be kidding me. All right, anyway.
Okay.
I'll concede. I'll
Look from the
concede.
front.
No, it's fine.
Listen, guys, this is.
I'll concede because I can't suck any more than that. That's just
All right.
crazy.
Okay, I think it's very clear. By the smallest of margins, Tabiso is the winner of the silly straw glasses challenge. Well done.
Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame.
Clearly,
In your
nobody
game,
sucks better than you. Well done.
Thank you for that.
Big or small, we've got it all. Everyone will find something at the Crazy Store. It's no wonder South Africa considers the Crazy Store the crazy fun place to shop.
You guys suck, man. Both of you. You guys suck. I never thought I'd see a person get face cramp on the show. I'm going to stick to my far more sedate and enjoyable coffee. Congratulations, guys. Please, if you want to take this challenge on at home, get to a Crazy Store and do it. Record a video so that we can see exactly the same madness and mayhem. Now, of course, we know DJ Roger Good, our dodgy Uncle Rogie, is one of the Presenter Search on 3 Expresso Edition judges, and he is relishing the opportunity. In just a moment, we're going to cross live to 5FM to catch up.
Only you can make my day.
welcome back. How's that face feeling there, buddy?
Dude, I have not yet recovered.
Oh man, so it has been officially proven that you're a loser. Sorry, dude, you're a loser, man.
Kat actually went to weigh the glasses. He launched the probe and weighed the glasses.
I couldn't have put in so much facial
shame,
effort
man.
and not come out with a good result at the end. But congratulations to Uncle Tabsy. He's clearly far more experienced than I am. But right now, let's check in with Roger Good and Solo. What's
Expresso
happening?
family, we are coming to you live from the SABC studios this morning in Auckland Park on the Roger Good Show, talking everything presenter search. And of course, one of our judges is the dodgy Uncle Roger himself. He's been in the entertainment game for close to 2 decades now. So who better to help us choose 2 brand new presenters to help us join the coveted Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So dodgy Uncle Roger, I'm going to start off by asking you first. Have you had any judging experience? Can we trust you with this task? And what was your approach going into judging Presenter Search, the Expresso edition this year?
A lot of people don't know this. I come from a long history of being a former professional underwear model. And then when I packed that up, I did a lot of judging at men's underwear modeling pageants. So yes, I've had a fair amount of just talent judging in general.
And talk to us about the overall experience scouring through the talent in the mother city. How was that experience like with your fellow judges, Dr. Musa Mtombeni and of course Tando Tabete?
Tando and Musa are like, they're seasoned veterans, they've done a lot of TV work. And I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just like it says something about me. I'm always like rooting for the underdog. So we're like, every person that comes on that they hate, I love, So we get into interesting banter. We're always disagreeing about things, but I think that's what makes the competition, interesting and fun. We've got different tastes. I enjoy watching different kinds of shows, so it's anybody's game. Cape Town are excellent. Durban, as we're making our way through the cities, it just keeps getting better and, more interesting.
Now, talking about the competition being interesting, we know that Presenter Search is never short of funny, crazy, wacky, interesting, entertaining people. Did you come across any of these while scouring and sifting through the talent in Cape Town?
They're all very talented, everybody. The problem with Expresso is we're under pressure to find somebody that we could literally drop onto the show as like even a stand-in, and they would be able to do the job. You know what I mean? So whilst you'll find somebody that maybe might need a bit of direction, sadly they're not going to be good enough for the job. I also, we talk about funny things. I've been playing the role as the worst guest ever. So like I'll get up and I'll go and they'll be doing an interview, and then with me, and I'll be the worst, most horrific guest, because that can happen. Tell everybody watching, like, whoa, hold on, got to change the song.
See, just like this.
Yeah, we're live. It's a live show as well. So you can have a guest on the show and they might be completely useless, and you've got to try and draw. It's like drawing water out of a stone. So I've been having a lot of fun with that and driving them insane. It's the worst guest ever. Yeah.
All right, so having said that, I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you, have you spotted a potential top 10 contestant in Cape Town? And I'll put you on the spot even further and say, have you spotted a potential winner?
In Cape Town, it's too early to say. I know we're slightly ahead of the recording, so we've looked at Cape Town, we've been to Durban, we've been to Joburg. One interesting thing is the closer we moved to Joburg, you started to realize there's some professionals entering this thing. Some of them are, they're serial professional auditioners for TV shows. Do you know what I mean? It's almost, I don't know, they've got rich parents and this is all they do, back-to-back interviews. So it's too early to say, but there's some really, whoever ends up winning this thing is going to be perfect for the show, and it's going to be great.
As you've heard it from the dodgy Uncle Roger himself, you guys can also follow the journey. Episode 2 of Presenter Search, the Expresso edition, is airing tonight at 7:30 p.m. on SABC 3, where the stage is yours. Catch it. But for now, it's back to you guys in studio.
It's Raj.
It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3 and Orbit Gum.
Well, all that action is taking place right here on SABC 3 at 7:30 tonight. All the talent in Cape Town. You get to see the first round of auditions. It's all very exciting, right? But something else that's really exciting is that during this time of the week, as we go over the Hump Day, we take a look at all those movie trailers that are interesting enough to check out. And our resident movie critic, JP Sebastian, he spends so much time chatting to the movie houses and finding out what's worth checking out. What are the trailers? What do they look like? What are they all about? You've got some interesting films here. Honey Boy is the first one, JP Sebastian.
Yeah, for me, I like sometimes, if we're not talking about, not every movie needs like a meteorite that's threatening humanity or gigantic disease, or how do we squeeze Chris Evans into new neon tights or something like that. It's Sometimes I just like small Americana, like just normal human life. And this is something that is actually, Honey Boy is sort of semi-autobiographical. It was written by a dude who's like sort of been reviled for a long time, I think unnecessarily, because he acted like a bit of a poople. Shia LaBeouf, after he plagiarized something and then he like made a whole show of it and he put like anyway, like, he went through a whole weird debacle. But the thing is, I'm actually coming around to the guy. I think I feel like I stand. After you saw him in Fury, he acted really well, and in this, he spent during his time recently in rehab writing the story of his own life and his tense relationship with his own dad, and in this movie acts as his dad. Really pretty brave to do. If you feel like you've had a father who's been exploitative, manipulative, and abusive, to try and get into his mind and his body and try and feel, that's him right there, by the way. Shia LaBeouf, obviously, I think the Oscars also love like full makeovers on people. Like,
Is his father a clown?
His father was actually an ex-rodeo clown and a felon. And the thing is, as Shia, who is played by Lucas Hedges from Manchester by the Sea, nominated in the older years, and played by Noah Jupe, who people are calling a revelation of a child actor in this movie. As he was rising to stardom, his father magically shows up on the scene again and wants to be part of managing his life. And so, as you can see by the trailer, the character's pulled all sorts of ways, whether it's in stunts or being made to act a certain way and whatever. And that's how the chaos sort of arises. That's how the addiction possibly arose in this guy's life. So good on him. That's really, I think, to act as someone who you thought was a negative figure for yourself for a long time and try and reach into them and feel why they might have been that way.
Any well-known actors there?
Aside from Shia, I think I just too quickly mentioned that Lucas Hedges is such a young dude and was nominated for Manchester by the Sea and was also in Lady Bird.
He's done some work.
At such a young age. Both of them. So interestingly, the story about way too rapid ascent and the pressures of that.
Keeping it up. Well, The Day Shall Come is the second film. So this one is about an impoverished preacher who brings hope to the Miami project, and he's offered cash. I can already tell it's going to go south. Don't offer a preacher cash.
So this guy,
because they take it.
It's a comedy for a start, just so you know. It's not anything too. Well, it's actually totally oddball, kind of, because from the poster you would have seen that Chris Morris directs this. Chris Morris is one of the greatest satirical writers ever. You've got Chris Morris, then you've got Stephen Colbert, then you've got Jon Stewart, and well, they're like way low below the rung. So if you've seen Brass Eye, one of the funniest TV shows of all time, Chris Morris directed a movie called Four Lions, which so bravely, like maybe too crazy and like at such tense time for people, was about a comedy about suicide bombing. I mean, that sounds crazy.
That doesn't sound like...
It was so cleverly and delicately written. And so this...
But he's able to do that. He's able to take something so serious and make quite a comedic sort of twist to it, right?
And I think, cast it in a different light that way. So in this, your main character played by Marshawn Davis, who's a first-time actor. You've seen Anna Kendrick there as well. Marshawn Davis is this guy who, I think they called him in the United States the Black Israelites. And they're a strange, like, fringe group who are a liberation movement, but believe that there's... I'm not going to like claim to know what their belief is precisely, but like there's a holy land for black people. But the thing is, this group is completely in this movie innocuous. It's four people who the FBI, played by Anna Kendrick in this case, decide to pin a terrorist attack on. So they entrap them, they purposely corner them, and that's why the poster, in fact, says based on 100 true stories, because this is something that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has done too many times. Like completely harmless groups push towards the red button, and then they score points from that. Whatever.
That one sounds interesting. You got my attention.
So
I love
super
it. The Day Shall Come. JP Sebastian, we still have you in the building. We're going to be chatting some more films coming up later on in the year, and of course looking at some of those release dates and what you think of the movies. Why don't you connect with us on Expresso Morning Show SABC3? Let us know what you think of the trailers we've just watched now. We'll take a break. We'll see you in a bit.
A weird one.
back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And of course, time for us to get into a little bit of tech daily. Now, most of us might imagine a future where our devices and perhaps our cars or even high-speed jets or boats might be controlled by the power of touch, just like modern smartphones, right? However, the US Navy confirmed this week that it will be uninstalling touch controls on its fleet of destroyers. Why? Well, news comes after 2 accidents involving US Navy ships, wherein a commission investigated and found that crewmen about both vessels found touch screens difficult to operate and control under stressful situations and conditions. The report also found that sailors vastly preferred physical wheels and throttles to control their vessels and outperformed tests where they were tasked to make maneuvers using the touch screens. The US Navy is now in the process of removing touch screens from its fleet and has confirmed its plans to reinstall physical controls by the end of 2020. So how is that for a slice of Back to the Future?
Probably a good thing. I mean, you wouldn't want to have that red button that launches like 20,000 missiles at the ready and on a touch-sensitive screen, like, oh!
Exactly. Like, you know how your own
Do you know
touch
what I
screen
mean?
has embarrassed you at times, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You need one of those, like,
autocorrect.
unwind, open, click, fingerprint, then press the button.
Yeah, just
to
give me
launch.
that big one, like,
Yeah, exactly.
steer! That one. I want that one.
Anyway, in other news, now for researchers studying the origins of the universe, the number of calculations and simulations at play are immense and are usually beyond the ambit of even the most seasoned mathematicians and modern-day computing systems to handle. Now, a team of researchers from the University of Arizona have tasked a supercomputer that's aptly named the Universe Machine to virtually generate millions of universes. And the reason behind this, well, it's to understand how galaxies might evolve or change over time. Now, having created some 8 million virtual universes, this Universe Machine now intends to study how galaxies may produce stars, how constellations are formed, how planetary bodies might decay over time. And these 8 million virtual universes are actually based on observable parts of our own galaxies. And it took the Universe Machine just 3 weeks to generate them. And so here's to hoping that they achieve some very interesting results that we'll be able to report back on soon.
Isn't it so fascinating how the world of technology constantly evolving?
You know what I'd love to do, though?
What?
I mean, with these 8 million virtual universes, get a pair of VR glasses, if you will, and then be taken on like a hyperlapse cruise through what these universes look like. Because we've seen them on like, you know, these fascinating nature shows and whatnot, scientific shows, but like what it actually might look like in there.
Oh, amazing stuff. Mind blown, but our mind is about to be blown as we understand car and home insurance with Graham next.
Nothing motivates us more than working incredibly hard towards buying our brand new dream house or maybe that brand new set of wheels. And once we have our dream home and that car, it doesn't end there. You'd surely want to do everything you can to protect your treasured assets, and they are exactly that, assets. Well, luckily, with car and home insurance, you can protect what matters most to you. And here to tell us a bit more about how exactly to do that, what are some of the pitfalls if we don't, Charmaine Scott from Standard Bank Insurance Brokers. Charmaine, thank you so much for joining us. To continue a very important conversation, unfortunately, one of those that we don't often have internally. We don't want to broach these things because we don't want to think about the unforeseen, think about the worst case scenario. And maybe it's quite an emotional thing. We've got the new car, we worked so hard for it. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. We've got our new home. You don't want to, or we often caught up in that, the romance of it, before we think about the repercussions if something negative happens. Let's start with the education first. Car and home insurance. What exactly is that?
Okay, well, car and home insurance covers exactly what it says. It will cover your car. And then if you want to cover your home, that would cover all the contents of your home. And the kind of things you would be covered for is, there's a very long list, but it's fire, lightning, explosions, storm, theft, malicious damage, accidental damage, and those are the general things that are covered.
Life happening.
Yes.
How do you know what the right, because this is probably one of the most stimulated spaces when we look at insurance. How do we know that we've got the right kind of cover for ourselves and our kind of stage of life, if you will?
Okay, so each customer is an individual, obviously, and they need to consider what's right for them. So you can take comprehensive cover that covers everything and then some more with additional value-added benefits from the list I mentioned, or you could just select specific covers like fire and storm damage. You might feel that is more important. Or on the motor vehicle side, it might be your very first car that you've just bought. The car's not worth that much, but what if you were liable for other damages to other people? Then third-party insurance would be absolutely critical.
I think the most important part of the process is educating yourself first off and speaking to someone who does know something about that landscape, if you will. What is the first step? What should I be thinking about when I approach car and home insurance?
Okay, so most clients immediately look at the price. How much is it going to cost me? But I think it's so important that you also look at the benefits, what you're covered for, and then also what you're not covered for. Often, with vehicle insurance, as an example, it's covered on a named driver basis. So you need to check with your insurer to make sure, do I have to tell you who's going to be driving my vehicle, or will it be covered if anybody drives my vehicle? So that's the first thing. And I think then secondly, you must also consider the excesses. So the excess is the first amount that you are personally responsible for. And say the excess is 5,000 Rand, then anything under 5,000 Rand wouldn't be covered, and you would have to pay those damages. Over 5,000, it would then be covered, but the first 5,000 is what you're responsible for. And often the insurers increase the excess to reduce the premium.
When is the right time to consider car and home insurance?
I think the right time is the moment you've purchased the asset. The moment you buy that new cell phone. What happens if you drop it? Is it going to be covered?
We're walking around with 20,000 Rand cell phones now.
Exactly. And then will you have 20,000 Rand to replace it?
Yeah.
And if you think, no, but it's okay because it's financed, that doesn't remove you from the responsibility because the bank is still going to want you to repay them. So it's so critical that the moment you purchase a new property, you consider the insurance. And insurance won't be top of mind because it's a grudge purchase. You think it's never going to happen. But when it does happen, you just don't want to regret it.
And obviously most banks out there that are helping you on the finance, it'll be a prerequisite. You won't get those keys unless there is insurance. So I think that's a good starting point to speak to your bank as well to get advice, speak to an advisor in that space. But I think most importantly, speak to a broker who knows that landscape, can help you design something that's the right fit financially, but can also just highlight, reinforce those pitfalls and those areas that we often overlook because we're so excited. The fine print, it's all in the fine print. Charmaine, thank you so much for continuing my education. Hopefully you are thinking about those big questions. I know often very difficult things to broach, but you ultimately want the peace of mind that your home and your car will be covered in the event of theft or damage or any of these unforeseen circumstances. And if you'd like a car and home insurance quote that matches your needs and your lifestyle, then SMS INSURE to 31492. You'll get a call back and a quote. And most importantly, as a nice added bonus, once you've got that quote, after sending that SMS, you stand the chance of winning a state-of-the-art Samsung S10 smartphone. Just don't break it and get it insured. So get that quote today and remember that all of the terms and conditions do apply.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword INSURE to 31492 for a callback and quote, and you could be a winner.
The world of insurance, guys. The world of insurance. Such an important thing, but often so overlooked. We learn. Thank you, Standard Bank. Guys, Eitan Stern is already walking around here, playing with his hair. But we know it's time for us to... he's got big hair, right? So he's always just
long hair. Is that what he does when he's not on camera?
He's always
playing with his hair.
Always flexing. That's what he does. But guys, we're talking about restaurants and your rights when it comes to eating out at restaurants.
Because the customer is always right.
Right.
I'm going to love this.
Right.
Because there was a worm in my stomach. Oh, wow.
The Next Brand Ambassador starts 15th of August on SABC3.
I'm just here to show the magic that lives inside of me.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
People think they know when they don't know.
Who did not pull their weight?
Just calm your farm. My heart sank. It's on.
Tune in on Thursday, 15th of August to watch the launch episode of the highly anticipated new reality series, The Next Brand Ambassador. SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
A very warm welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3. That midweek feel-good that you're getting. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us this morning. So much still on the go. Coming up on the show, we're going to be celebrating some birthdays and then legal talk with Eitan Stern. Right now, though, time for us to check out the news.
Thank you so much, Tabi. So in the national news this morning, Eskom yesterday said the grid had remained stable and there was enough power to meet the country's demands. This was not the case a few months ago when the power utility had to resort to stage 4 load shedding. While Cape Town's dam levels are at 80%, the highest in 4 years, Karoo farmers are holding panic at bay as the 5-year drought that's gripped the region shows no signs of abating. On the international front, Ebola may soon be a preventable and treatable disease after a trial of 2 drugs showed significantly improved survival rates. 4 drugs were trialed on patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is a major outbreak of the virus. Flight check-in was suspended at Hong Kong International Airport for a second consecutive day because of anti-government protests. Meanwhile, convoys of Chinese military police are mustering in the border city, or rather in the border city of Shenzhen. And then finally, with infectious diseases such as Ebola or the common cold or influenza very much in the news, using hand sanitizer has become common practice. But says Professor Philip Tierno, a pathologist at New York University, the best way to stop the spread of potentially harmful germs is washing your hands with soap and water. He explained that soap and water can be more effective because some potentially harmful bacteria are not killed by alcohol-based sanitizers, while soap and water can do the job. However, for a sufficient wash, you should be rubbing your hands with soap and water for no less than a happy birthday sung twice. That should leave you with sparkling, clean, germ-free hands. Well, there you have it. Time for another look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with a host of new call-ups in cricket. First off, fast bowler Anrich Nokia, that was expected. Batsman Rudy Second and spin bowling all-rounder Sinuran Mutasamy are 3 uncapped players who have now been included in the Protea Test squad for the 3-match tour of India in early October. Call-ups in rugby as well. The Springboks have called up uncapped Western Province hooker Skara Ntobeni and his provincial teammate Prop Wilco Low to join the squad in Pretoria as they prepare for their once-off test match against the Los Pumas on Saturday. And staying with rugby, the Springbok women's team took a step closer to qualifying for the 2021 Women's Rugby World Cup. That was when they claimed a very memorable 7-3 thrashing over Madagascar, 73-0 thrashing over Madagascar at the Bosman Stadium in Brakpan yesterday. We'll touch on those stories again in a half hour.
So, Smuda, all of this for dollar low monthly fees.
Money, money. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Graham. Let's take a first look at your roads this morning. We start off in Gauteng, out in Germiston. On the N3 northbound, there has been an accident after the Geldenhuys interchange. It's obstructing one lane, so please keep a lookout for this. In the Western Cape, there has been an accident on the N2 inbound before Robert Sobugwe Road. The left lane is currently obstructed and it's causing delays, so please do approach with caution. And off to the trains, there is an extended travel time of 15 to 20 minutes. That's on the Strand and Muldersvlei line. This is due to re-signalling between Fore and Easter River, infrastructure problems in various areas, speed restrictions, as well as sets out of service. So please do take it easy on the roads this morning and keep a safe following distance. That's where we leave it for now. The next report in just over half an hour.
As always, of course, when we look at the weather, we ask you to send us beautiful sunrise pictures, and Dane Mukwena sent us one from Mabalingwe Nature Reserve in Bela Bela, and where plenty of sunshine can be expected, with very warm temperatures and clear skies reaching a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius today. Also, our regular photographer sent, this is Fatah Khan, who sent us a sunrise picture from Richards Bay, where partly sunny conditions can be expected, with a shower in places and warmer temperatures reaching a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. Thank you very much for those pictures. Do keep them coming. We love sharing them with everyone at the start of a brand new day. Let's take a look at those temperatures, more specifically starting off in Polokwane, your minimum of 10 and a maximum of 27. Sunny conditions there. The highest temperatures in the country in Mbombela between 15 and 32 degrees Celsius. In Pretoria, 11 to 27, and across the M1, Johannesburg, 9 to 25. Plenty of sunshine to be expected in Mahikeng, and temperatures ranging between 12 and 28. Klerksdorp, 6 to 26. In the Northern Cape, in Kimberley, 4 to 24, and sunny conditions over there. In the Free State is where you can find the coldest temperatures this morning. In Bloemfontein, a low of 1 and a high of 23 at the maximum of the day. A couple of showers for Richards Bay, and a low of 15 and a high of 24. Pietermaritzburg between 8 and 24. Durban, the warmest place to be. Sunny conditions can be expected there, and temperatures ranging between 16 and 23. High humidity is the order of the day for Mthatha. Temperatures ranging between 4 and 23. A southwesterly wind of about 24 kilometers per hour can be expected in East London, and temperatures there ranging between 12 and 22, while the lowest temperatures in the country are in Craddock, -1, rising to a maximum of 21. A southwesterly wind of about 28 kilometers per hour will be blowing through Port Elizabeth this morning, a low of 10 and a high of 21, while George will see temperatures ranging between 8 and 18. Sutherland, 1 to rising up to a maximum of 17, and high humidity for Cape Town today, a low of 9 and a high of 19. In Worcester, you can expect your temperatures to be ranging between 6 and 20, partly cloudy conditions in that part of the country. Springbok, 12 and 24, and it's an all-round sunny day for Uppington this morning, a low of 8 and a high of 26. But whatever the weather in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Well, no matter the weather, we celebrate your birthdays here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. It's that time of the morning, you're hearing the tune. It means it's time for us to get just deep and straight into it.
Yep, we've got a ton to get through, so I'm going to try and fly through as many as I can. We're going to kick it off with a very happy 30th birthday to Prevalent. Happy birthday, guy. May you have all the joy your heart can hold, all the smiles a day can bring, all the blessings a life can unfold. That's nice, man. Coming from your beautiful wife, Natasha, and sons Caden and Jordan. Happy birthday, Prevalent. Then a very happy 32nd birthday to Carol. May you enjoy your day. God bless you even more, from Patricia and Sharon.
Beautiful, beautiful messages coming through there. Here's another one. Happy birthday to our firstborn, Lauren Combrink-Wen. It's your 29th birthday today. Hoping you'll enjoy your day to the fullest. We love you more than you ever know. From Mummy Marilyn and Daddy Trevor. Happy birthday, Lauren. And we've got another one here for Aunt Radia. It's Aunt Radia's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Auntie. May you be, may your day be filled with blessings of love, peace, and joy. God bless you always. This is with love from your family out in Pietermaritzburg. Aunt Radia looks so sweet.
Happy birthday, Auntie, from the uncle.
From Uncle Tabsy, yes.
We would like to then wish our daughter, Owame Molosi, a happy 10th birthday. May you be blessed with many more years to come. May may this day be as beautiful and unique as you are. He does look like a force to be reckoned with. Happy birthday, Wame. And then a very happy birthday as well to Charles Koopman from his aunt Charmaine for today. Love you lots. And I think she loves you lots every single day. Happy birthday, Auntie Charmaine.
It's also Edward's birthday. It says here to a wonderful dad, Edward Hiervel, turning 90 years old today.
Happy
It's a
birthday,
big one. Wow. Happy birthday to you, Dad. We may not tell you often enough how much you mean to us. We are very grateful for everything you have done for us and the rest of the family. You mean the world to us. This is with love from Brenda, Skylar, and the rest of the family. Happy 90th. Happy 90th. And happy 9th birthday to Kenzo Limi. May you have a super day and keep on twerking. Much love. Oh, hey, Kenzo's always twerking. You see, this is where you should have absolutely sent us a video because we've got to see it to believe it. Videos 071-640-6551. Write that number down.
Send it, please. And we've got 2 more to fly through. Yeah, happy birthday to Debbie. May God bless or keep blessing you with many more great things from your husband, Elridge, and 6 children, Noreen, Nicole, Clarice, Georgia, Rihanna, and Daniel. What a family. What a brood. Love that. We love you very much. Mwaz. It's a big, gigantic 6 from all 6 of your kids. And then would like to wish Luyanda Gabuza a very special birthday. You've showed us that friendship isn't based on gender and so on, but real love, togetherness, equality, and time for each other. Beautiful message. Many more years to come for you, my friend. And that's from your friend, Sia. Happy birthday, Luyanda, and all you incredibly special people, man. No vernacular. No Zulu,
vernacular.
No Xhosa, no nothing for me to...
Yesterday, I spent so much time at night just hoping, praying. I hope that somebody sends through a few vernac things, but nevertheless, you can still wish your loved ones. 071-640-6551. That's the number to send your videos through to. We're always on standby and waiting to see them. Of course, you can still send those birthday dedications to birthdays@cardova.tv with a bit of a 24-hour lead time. You know in advance that it's your loved one's birthday, so give us some time as well. But in the meantime, happy birthday, everyone celebrating today.
Happy birthday indeed. Well, there's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica.
Absolutely, and the intro videos for #TIOT9 have been streaming in, and to be quite honest, personally, I can't get enough of them. I love watching them.
They're so exciting. I also enjoy watching all of these social media platforms. Now, some of them are really, really good.
Very, very good. Very entertaining. I mean, you can spend the whole day looking at them. Of course, you can follow the process of entering by submitting them to Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. #TIOT9 is what we're all about. So we want to show you one sent in by Mamzim Zuli, who is ready to outsmooth everyone on the island. Let's take a look at that audition video.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Mamsi and I'm ready to outsmooth the competition Tropica Island of Treasure 2019. I'm ready to outsmooth the competition by being myself, by working hard, by partnering with Dumantando, Team Pineapple, Team Yellow Bone, Team Yellow Mellow. We are ready to win. We are ready to make moolah, moolah, moolah. Who's not ready? I don't know about you, but I'm ready to win. I'm ready to entertain. I'm ready to do whatever it is for me to win that moolah, 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 moolah. Team Pineapple, Team Yellow Mellow, Team Dumantando, Team Siawina, Team Silibeles Bangienele.
Oh, yes. Mamsi, you are a vibe. Oh, my goodness.
Team Yellow Mellow, Team Yellow Bone. What is that?
I don't know.
Is it like a bubble gun?
I think so. All I know is it was highly entertaining and definitely keep them coming. #TIOT9 is still looking for their 6 consumer contestants, and all you need to do is to enter for the Island of Treasure Curacao.
Yeah, you got to buy any size of your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Then win. Find the unique code behind the bottle or the sticker, then follow those entry details on the pack, and you can win daily prizes, and there are many. There's airtime, there's cash, LG Q60 smartphones, there's 55-inch LG UHD smart digital TVs, Steam dishwashers, and Caribbean tan products. There's more than 100,000 prizes for you to win daily.
Amazing. And for your chance to compete in Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao, all you have to do is record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth the competition. Then load the video on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with that hashtag TIOT9, and you could be winning a share of R1 million, plus smooth fame and fortune whilst flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao.
Yeah, T's and C's and information, of course, can be found on tropica.co.za. Hey, and feel free to be creative with your sound effects as well.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. Whatever.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean.
Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. Audition online now to compete with your favorite celeb,
And you could join us in paradise.
and stand a chance to win your share of a smooth R1 million. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Boo, boo, get
It was
entering,
a
get those
money gun.
entries
That's what
through.
it was. It was a moolah gun, all right? I love it. All the best of luck. Getting a little bit jealous about the whole not being on an island thing.
It's okay, man. Get over it. Get over it. But listen, I don't know if you've had any bad experiences with restaurants.
Everyone has.
What's your
Surely-
worst one?
I don't know. I mean, I've found a couple of things in restaurants, but I once got into a fight with a restaurant owner who had something to say about someone. She actually told someone who had a question about food to leave the restaurant and eat somewhere else. And that for me was the most, I'm sorry, in a service environment, I just could not believe it. But I doubt that drifts into the legal framework. I doubt that I could sue them.
Well, how
for
do you
being-
know? How do
being
you
just
know? You never
an
know.
Idiot.
There's always that unconventional side to the law, and that's what we're exploring on the other side of the break with Eitan Stern, looking at your rights when it comes to eating out at restaurants. So now what do I do when I've been told to go eat somewhere else? That's happening after the break.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And it's time for another edition of our Wednesday feature where we focus on the unconventional side of law. It's called So Now What? And we're joined once again by our expert lawyer and director at legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern, everybody.
That's right. Now today, we're going to be focusing on what your legal rights and recourses are should you have a less than favorable experience while eating out at your favorite restaurant. Now, we spend our hard-earned bucks on a fine dining experience. So let's jump into some food for thought for a smoother experience when it comes to going out and eating out.
Sure.
Eitan, where do I even start with this one? Do you even have any rights at all?
We're starting right from the top then.
Well, it's very, very cool to have you on the show today. There's a term called a misophobe.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us what that is?
I had to Google it to figure out what it is. I believe it's a germaphobe, someone that's scared of germs.
Exactly. Someone who wants to take their own cutlery, crockery, and straws into a restaurant because naturally we don't know if it's been cleaned correctly.
Yeah.
Will something like that be allowed?
Okay, so this is obviously just going to be up to the restaurant's policy. So there's an old Roman maxim in our law that says the law doesn't concern itself with trivial things.
Okay.
And to be perfectly honest with you, someone wanting to take their cutlery into a restaurant is a bit trivial. So
you know, the laws are there to make rules that kind of keep our society safe.
Of course.
This is not one so there aren't specific laws around this, but if the restaurant doesn't mind, there's no problem with it. And really, in today's world, while, you know, there's a lot of plastic waste, it's probably a good idea to carry your own knife and fork, so you never have to use plastic, but it's not a legal issue.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. I see. So if there's something wrong with my actual food order and I'm eating, and it's definitely not what I ordered, it's not what it's meant to be like, and I send it back to the kitchen and it comes back and it's still wrong.
Yes.
Do I have any sort of legal rights to refuse to pay for the food?
Sure, I guess so. So restaurants are bound by the Consumer Protection Act, like any consumer serving entity. So if you order something and it comes back wrong, and you didn't get what you paid for, so you haven't been given what you asked for, then you have rights within the Consumer Protection Act to not pay. But you know, if you've eaten your food and you've tried it and you just didn't like it, then you obviously can't. But it's very important for us all to remember when going to restaurants that even if you don't like your food or anything like that, don't be rude to the waitresses and waiters.
Of course.
You know, because they're just working there as well. But sure, if you didn't get what you ordered, you just shouldn't have to pay.
So I suppose you only have rights if the order is not what you asked for, not if it doesn't taste the way you wanted it to
Exactly, 100%, yeah.
I had an experience many years ago where I was having I had a chicken sandwich and it came with a little side salad.
Okay.
So I bit 2 or 3 bites into the one half of the chicken salad, and when I wanted to bite into the salad on the side, there was a lovely, yummy bug, a worm.
That's lovely
Just like,
stuff.
you know, like, hi.
Timon and
the owner of the coffee shop actually
You didn't eat Timon, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't. It's a grub, you guys. The owner of the establishment actually said, I can't let you eat for free, so you're still going to pay for that, but I will give you a complimentary cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
I'm sure in that case I could have been like...
Yes, in that case you probably could have, you know, claimed the Consumer Protection Act. They didn't give you what you wanted.
In fact, they gave me more than I asked for.
They gave you a little bit more than you asked for.
A little bit more protein than I wanted.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so let's say now I am at the restaurant and I injure myself while enjoying my eating experience at the restaurant. You know, these things can happen. Wet floors, or it's under construction and they forgot to put a sign on.
Yes.
Can we sue?
Okay.
And make some money? Or...
So in the law, you always, in all scenarios, you have this right to sue if something bad happens to you. So when you're going to a restaurant, you're in someone else's space, and the people have a duty to keep that space safe. So if they do something where they put something out, or they negligently or intentionally put something out that's going to harm one of their customers, then sure, if you have harm caused to you by someone else's negligence or intention, then definitely you always have the right to sue. Often restaurants are going to have indemnity forms to say you enter the space, you know, on your own free will, etc. So they'll probably try wag that back in your face to say, look, there was a warning. There was a warning, but still, in the law, you can never contract out of gross negligence. So if they did something that was really silly and negligent, and you know there was an air conditioner that hadn't been fastened and it falls onto your table, then for sure you always have the right to sue.
Yeah, well, fabulous. We are talking to Eitan Stern. It's all about the laws around eating out. Where do you stand when it comes to those things? I want to talk about health codes after this, but Eitan's not going anywhere, and of course you can definitely stay up to date with all things law related with this incredible guy.
Thanks.
All right, well, it's time for us to right now focus on our health.
That stressed me out. That whole conversation
Easy, man. Of course, stress has become a far too common part of our lives. We experience stress from our environment, our bodies, and our thoughts as well. And the symptoms manifest in all shapes and forms.
Yep, and today we are joined by now a good mate of ours, pharmacist and national training and PR manager for Relief Pharmaceuticals, Sean Willard, who is here to shed some light on how stress affects our bodies, and in particular, it's a common relationship, IBS. I feel like I've gotten to know more than I ever dreamt I could about IBS, but the crazy thing is so many people are talking to me about it now. Yeah. So many people are affected by this. It seems to be this natural, almost a knee-jerk reaction to stress, is that this kind of stress module, our kind of nerve center goes haywire. Why do we have a physical reaction to stress? Because surely stress is emotional or it's mental.
Absolutely. So there is obviously the connection of I see something, think charging lion or that elephant bull that's taken an untoward disliking to you. But you see the picture, it goes through our nervous system, causes a release of adrenaline and cortisol from our adrenals, and in the end we have these things like our pupils dilate, we start to sweat, our heart races, our blood pressure goes up, all part of our sympathetic nervous system, what we call fight or flight.
Okay.
And so it has a physiological effect, absolutely.
Yeah. So how does that then link into IBS? Because I mean, as you were physically actually showing it, is that when you feel stress, it's that warm feeling of like a boiling just in your gut there. How does that then affect IBS?
Yeah. So the opposite of sympathetic nervous system is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. And we don't end up digesting our meal if we're in fight and flight all the time. So at the end of the day, we can have that reflux, that burning, that cramping, that bloatedness, all those things that we've talked about with regard to IBS and dyspepsia.
Okay.
That's crazy because it seems to be a chicken and egg thing as well, because your gut needs to be healthy in order to feed the rest of your system. But if you're stressed out and nervous, then your gut can't be healthy.
Correct.
It seems to be quite a crazy, and I know you've spoken about the link between the brain and the stomach in that sense. With IBS specifically, how does someone know that maybe their IBS could be stress related as opposed to eating something, or what can be some of those triggers where they should just take a moment, take a breath and calm down, because that clearly could be playing a role, do you think?
Yeah, so we spoke about that bidirectional gut-brain axis, didn't we? So it's something that happens in our brain can affect our stomach, but also what's happening in the gut affects our brain. And in fact, in one study, over 4,600 people, when they were diagnosed with IBS, they actually found that they had a high incidence of things like anxiety, mood, and even sleep disorders. So it definitely, what's happening in our gut is impacting our brain very much so,
So then with that in mind, what's the best way of relieving stress so that your gut functions more healthily and hopefully you can avoid symptoms of IBS?
I love that pun, relieving. Relief arthritis, IBS. Thanks so much. So relief arthritis, IBS. Great for relieving those symptoms. And obviously it'll decrease the stress. If we're not experiencing the symptoms, we're not going to be as stressed. So using something like relief theanine, which is an amino acid, great for healthy sleep and for relaxation. Excellent product as well. But the mindfulness, the meditations, the breathing, all these things, exercising, we've talked about it. And I think at the end of the day is just choosing our foods wisely. All these things contribute together to decrease the stress.
I think it's also just be honest with yourself, like take a step back, because often when you're in it, I think you forget that these things are going on and you just think, okay, I've got to suck it up and just deal with it. And you don't. There are relief, there's relief available for the symptoms as well. But just often that taking a moment, taking a beat to take a breath, just expanding your diaphragm and relaxing that part of your body, because I'm doing this because we're going to be doing yoga in just a moment now, so I'm preparing to take those deep breaths, but also just knowing about it and educating yourself about it, and talk about IBS and learn more about it. Don't be shy, because it's it's something that you don't think affects you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Great to see you. Great to see you. Now, of course, if you do suffer from IBS and you're looking for relief, Artigest is available at all leading pharmacies nationwide. Plus, a little while later, as you heard from Graham, we're going to be joined by a yoga instructor who's going to show us a few stretching and breathing techniques that'll help you not only relief of IBS, but also just de-stress a little bit, especially at the start of a brand new day. She's got a couple of techniques that we're going to be trying out, and I hope that you're ready with your...
man.
So stay with us and make sure you don't miss out on that. I've never seen Graham do a downward dog before, so maybe today might be the first.
No.
Control the symptoms and feel the relief with Artigest IBS. Brought to you by Relief Pharmaceuticals.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3, and we're continuing our discussion with lawyer and director at legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern, about what your legal rights are when it comes to encountering mishaps when you're eating out at a restaurant. Very interesting.
Very interesting stuff we're learning from you, Eitan, this morning. So if a restaurant has ever had any action taken against it for violating health codes and practices, are they obligated to have this displayed somewhere in the restaurant to say, we've been guilty before?
There was a grab in our sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would think there would be a law around this, but it turns out there isn't any law around this. But it is a pretty good idea. So all restaurants need what's called a certificate of acceptability in order to open a restaurant. That means that they've gone through health and safety and they are like a fine establishment. There is the possibility that when a restaurant gets given their certificate that there's certain conditions and terms to it. So it does make sense that it could be that on that certificate it says, well, they've had issues in the past but they've corrected them, but that's not the case now. But if anyone thinks that's a good idea, what you can do is you can go and to your local, Minister of Parliament or your local, cabinet member and or parliamentarian, and go and suggest this. And if you get people behind it, you can even write a green paper, which is like a suggestion of law, and you can try to put that into the law. So, if anyone out there is passionate about that, they are able. That's how people change the law. But right now, there are no laws around that restaurants.
Disclosure of transgressions green paper. I can see that pulling through in Parliament.
Talking about disclosing, is a restaurant liable to tell you if there are common allergens that are found in your food? Let's say like traces of nuts, and you're allergic to nuts, or things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So again, one would think there would be laws around it, but not yet.
Okay.
This whole thing around allergens of nuts is relatively new and it's become popular quite recently, and so probably in time it will be there, but right now there isn't. But of course, if a restaurant causes you damage by not notifying you of something which could harm you, which they should have, then you might be able to claim against that restaurant. So so certainly restaurants, if more and more restaurants are starting to warn people around about allergens in food. And if you are harmed by some food and you do feel like the restaurant should have notified you, then you could take action against them.
Also, just to cotton on to that, if you do have an allergy and you tell the waiter, listen, I have, my face is going to swell up if I have nuts. Are you sure there's no nuts or traces of anything? And they're like, nah, there's nothing, you're good. And I get...
then you definitely, then that restaurant has acted negligently. One might say they might have acted grossly negligent because you asked them and they still didn't warn you. And at that point, sure, you might have a claim against that restaurant. But it's going to have to be an allergy that, it's not just going to be something that makes you a little bit sick. Remember, the law doesn't consider itself, doesn't spend its time on small things. So it has to have actually caused you damage. So a little bit of a, irritable bowel syndrome or something, not going to be a big deal. But if it actually causes you real harm, then certainly then you could claim against that restaurant.
Interesting. And then going back to my story of the grub.
You're not letting that one go.
Media, because I think I heard a couple of years ago that you're not allowed to go and make certain accusations about a restaurant or something like that. But let's say in today's time I do that and I take a picture of the grub and I say, don't eat here. Would I get into trouble, or would I have a foot to stand on?
Okay, so it's a bit of a complex answer in the sense of, look, you have freedom of speech. You're allowed to say what you want. The problem is with this new thing that we have of the court of social media. In my experience as a lawyer, there's often two or more sides to every story. So, the danger in being able to put something online is that you could really, really harm someone's business, and you might be doing it while you feel very justified. It might be a little bit unfair. So if you're going to do something like that, you have to make sure you are certain that it's correct. And if you are wrong and you overstep a mark, then you could be defaming that restaurant and causing them harm, and then that restaurant can claim against you. So the shoe will be on the proverbial other foot. So yes, it's possible, but you best be sure that you are certain that, and you want to cause harm to someone, because it can be very damaging.
Or just say they're now also serving worms as part of the menu.
Exactly.
Now part of the menu.
Very trendy.
Man, I hope that everyone at home has definitely taken a few notes today on when they have those mishaps at restaurants. how to deal with them from a legal perspective. Of course, help is always available, whether this is an ombudsman that looks after restaurants and then gives you information around all those codes of practice and conduct. It's about making sure that you know what your rights are when you step into a restaurant, and hopefully you've learned a thing or two. Thank you so much, Eitan.
Only a pleasure.
News headlines on the half-an-hour mark. Eskom yesterday said the grid had remained stable and there was enough power to meet the country's demands. And this was not the case a few months ago when the power utility had resorted to stage 4 load shedding. Now, while Cape Town dam levels are at 80%, the highest in 4 years, Karoo farmers are holding panic at bay as the 5-year drought that's gripped the region shows no signs of abating. On the international front, Ebola may soon be a preventable and treatable disease after a trial of 2 drugs showed significantly improved survival rates. 4 drugs were trialed on patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is a major outbreak of the virus. Now, flight check-in was suspended at Hong Kong International Airport for a second consecutive day because of anti-government protests. Meanwhile, convoys of Chinese military police are mustering in the border of the city of Shenzhen. And finally, a new poll conducted by OnePoll among some 2,000 American children aged between 6 and 17 showed that 73%, surprisingly, would actually like more opportunities to bond with their families. Luckily, moms and dads searching for inspiration do not have to look too far, as the survey pointed out to the top activities children wish to do more often with their folks. So, parents, if you wish to make the most of the coming spring weekends, activities on the list include creating arts and crafts, hiking in the forest, lazing on the beach, exercising and playing sports, going to the movies, taking a day trip to the museum or an amusement park, making and eating a meal together, and, wait for it, yes, helping with homework. I'll take that into your Wednesday morning as you start a brand new day. And right now, let's take a look at what's happening in the sporting world.
Let's kick it off with a host of call-ups, both in cricket and rugby. But first, with the red and white ball action, the bowler Anurk Nokia, batsman Rudy Second, and spin bowling all-rounder Senuran Mutasamy are all uncapped players who have been included in the Proteas test squad for the 3-match tour of India in early October. Then on to rugby, the Springboks have called up uncapped Western Province hooker Skara Ntubeni and his provincial teammates at prop will go low to join the squad in Pretoria. That's for their once-off test against Los Pumas this coming Saturday. And then staying with rugby, the Springbok women's team took a step closer to qualifying for the 2021 Women's Rugby World Cup after claiming a 73-0 thrashing over Madagascar. That was at the Bosman Stadium in Brakpan yesterday. More on that story in a half hour.
Thanks, G-Man. Let's take another look at your roads. We start off in Germiston, out in Gauteng on the N3 northbound. There has been an accident and a stationary vehicle after the Geldenhuys interchange. It's obstructing one lane. Heavy congestion can be expected from the N12 eastbound, leaving Alberton, so please pay attention there. In the Western Cape in Philippi, there has been an accident on the M7 northbound before Danafontein Road. Heavy delays can be expected from Mitchell's Plain, so please be patient on the roads this morning. And off to the trains, there are overhead electrical problems between Bunterhevel and Lavistown, impacting inbound Lavistown train service, and commuters are advised to make use of an alternative mode of transport this morning between Mutual and Belleville. That's where we leave it for now. The next report right after 8 o'clock. Well, it's time for us to take a look at your temperatures, but first a look at your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much, Solisi Lepe, for this beautiful sunrise picture. All the way out in Limpopo, mainly sunny conditions there can be expected with pleasant temperatures and a passing shower in the evening, reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. And our regular photographer, Sam Cross, sent us his sunrise picture from Durban, where plenty of sunshine can be expected with beautiful temperatures and a southwesterly wind reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. Beautiful pictures. Thank you so much, guys. And now we take a look at those temperatures. We start off in Polokwane, a low of 10, reaching a high of 27 degrees. If you're out in Mbombela today, you've got the highest temperatures in the country, 15, your minimum reaching that peak of 32 degrees, a warm day. Pretoria, 11, reaching a high of 27. Johannesburg, 9, your low, reaching a high of 25 degrees. Plenty of sunshine for Mahikeng today, 12 and 28. If you're out in Klerksdorp, 6 is your low, reaching a high of 26 degrees. Kimberley, 4 and 24. Bloemfontein has a cold start to the morning today, 1 your minimum, reaching a maximum of 23. A couple of showers are expected for Richards Bay, 15 minimum, peaking at 24. Pietermaritzburg is sunny today, 8 your low, reaching a high of 24, with Durban coming through at 16 and 23. Mthatha has high humidity expected for a low of 4, reaching a high of 23 degrees, and a southwesterly wind traveling at 24 kilometers per hour for East London, 12 your minimum, reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Craddock has the lowest temperatures in the country, -1, reaching that warmer temperature of 21 degrees, and a southwesterly wind of 28 kilometers per hour for Port Elizabeth, 10 your minimum, reaching a maximum of 21 degrees. If you're out in George, 8 and 18. Sutherland, 1 your minimum and your maximum 17. High humidity for the mother city, Cape Town, 9 and 19 maximum. Worcester, 6 and 20. If you're out in Springbok, your low today 12 degrees, reaching highs of 24. And Springbok, you've got 8 your low, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees. That's where we leave it for now. The next report will be just after 8 o'clock. In the meantime, though, take some nice pictures. Get them through to us on Expresso Morning Show SABC3.
Well, of course, it's time for us to take a look at our social media post. And this morning, the social media question that we had put out to you was whether it's a dance break or a stress ball or a moment of meditation. Do you have any fun ways that you use to relieve stress? So let's take a minute and see what your comments were on social media. Always nice to catch up with our Expresso family. Charmaine Marriott says, "Good morning, my Expresso family. I play my radio the entire day in my office. I cannot work without my radio. It seems to calm me." That's very nice. Thank you so much, Charmaine. The radio, the music, the great content, always cool. Jacques Tia says, "Good morning, Expresso family. Due to I am driving livestock already for 9 years, when I get stressed, I will stop my truck, get out, check if the livestock is still in a good condition. At the same time, they also have stress. And when I talk softly to them, I can see that they calm down. And after all the talking, I am also calmed down. So for me, it's easy to calm down." Wonderful. Yes, communication, soft tones. That's always a great way to relieve stress and to bring down the, the anxiety sometimes. Julie says, "Good morning, Expresso show. We tell funny stories and laugh." Laughter, they say, is always the best medicine. Absolutely love that. Do we have one more? Rosalie says, "Good morning, Expresso. A long walk along the beach works every time." I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for letting us know which fun ways you use to relieve stress at the office. But if you want another way, well then check out this.
All right, so earlier this morning, we touched on how stress can affect our minds, our bodies, and especially those who suffer from IBS. We're all one system. Now we are joined by Sam Vetri, who is a yoga teacher and an awesome human being. She's here to teach us some super useful stretching and breathing techniques that will help to relax our bodies and our minds, bring some relief, and of course, a little bit of mindfulness, I think. So if you guys are at home, just listen to that sound, that music, let it wash over you.
God bless
These
you,
are
Greg.
exercises that you can do even in your bed, even at your office. It's all up to you. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so ready.
Are you?
So ready.
Me too.
It's a bit of a day, man. There's a lot of stress going around the studio today, so your timing is perfect. Thank you so much.
We're gonna just come to start seated on our shins. Big toes touching. Allow your knees to come out as wide as feels comfy for you.
I'm not the most flexible person in the world, so I might look awkward in lots of these poses.
That's okay. It's just, don't stress. It's just about coming into the body, coming into the moment. Allow the hands to soften, the hips to soften. Relax your shoulders. And start to find yourself in a deep, slow breath as you gently fill the belly and the chest. Hold for a moment at the top of the breath as you find that pause. And then take a deep exhale through the lips. Just let it all go. A deep inhalation, fill the belly and the chest. Hold and release any stress or tension. Let it go. One more time, nice deep breath in. Fill the belly and the chest. Pause and then release. Just watch all the stress melt away. Now allow yourself to settle down into a natural rhythmical cycle of breath. And slowly start to melt your belly forward onto your thighs, drawing your hands forward toward the top of the earth. Soften the forearms, the forehead, and just relax into your body, your breath. Find yourself connecting to the earth, just that gentle, safe, and grounding feeling. The sweet flow of your breath. And when you're ready, you're slowly going to start to roll through your spine all the way back up to a seat. Soften the shoulders, just melt down. Allow your hips to sit to one side, heels to the other, and you're going to draw your legs forward in front of you. And from here, slowly roll yourself all the way onto your back. Knees are bent. Draw the feet out slightly wider than your hips. Bring your right hand onto your belly, your left hand onto your heart. Soften your head, your neck, your shoulders, your spine, your hips. And just allow yourself to watch and feel the breath move underneath the palms of your hands. And keeping your hands where they are, you're going to heel toe your feet together. Draw the soles of the feet to touch and your knees out wide as if you were making a diamond shape in the legs. And soften into the hips, the thighs, the knees, the breath. And if you're doing this at home, you can place pillows underneath the legs, the upper back, give yourself a little bit of a lift.
This is so stress relieving right now. We're going to just carry on with this yoga class and Tabiso.
I'm also feeling like I want to zone into that, what they're doing.
Absolutely incredible.
We're not going to actually disturb the guys. They're definitely zoning into this, and hopefully you're getting involved as well. We're going to take a quick break here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we'll see you in a bit. Take a deep breath and zone out, but we'll see you in a bit when you zone back in here with us.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Coming up on Afternoon Express, today live at 5 p.m. on SABC3, we meet composer and singer-songwriter Msaki. She has taken SA by storm through her soulful folk music that weaves subtle tales of love, revolution and hope. We also catch up with multi-award-winning singer Expresso to chat about his latest album and collaboration with Msaki. That's Afternoon Express, weekdays at 5 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Welcome back to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live on ABC3. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more relaxed after that Zeni yoga experience that we've just had here on the show. But it's time for us to take a look at some movie trailers now. Everyone loves a fairy tale, but a dark fairy tale, JP Sebastian.
Yeah, are you familiar?
Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's one of these movies that makes it more and more feel like Mexico is the future of good film. It's getting a lot of praise, and if I just read that poster for you for a moment, which I cannot do from this distance, it's important enough to know that names like Stephen King is on there. Stephen King says he was hooked 2 minutes into watching this. Neil Gaiman, people will know from TV shows. He's the man behind Lucifer, Good Omens, and American Gods. High praises from him too, and most importantly on that trailer for me is Guillermo del Toro, a man who we've spoken about 3 times in the past week, from The Shape of Water director, won the Oscar for that, saying that this is a new voice in cinema. Issa Lopez, the director of this movie. And so it's good to get praise from a guy like this because it feels kind of similar to some of the stuff that he's done in the past. I don't know if you guys remember Pan's Labyrinth. So one of these stories where just the brutality of everyday life intersects with the glimmer of magic, like the hope just at the edges. There might be something more magic and more beautiful than what people are going through right now.
This one is a dark fairy tale. It's about a gang of 5 children trying to survive horrific violence. What is this about? What's happening?
So it's supposed to feel like any town, Mexico on the border, where parents are killed by drug cartels. And in that hopelessness, in that dark sort of story that you're looking at right now is, like I said, this chance at grabbing for a change, chance at escaping the madness of this life. So what's amazing about this is that all these kids are first-time actors. And how do you pull that off and still receive the kind of praise that this movie's received? I mean, that's pretty amazing. Usually for people, like child actors are either like acceptable or super annoying, but apparently this is sweet as all heck. So,
especially in a film like this that just demands performance, that is so hugely performance-driven.
Kids are being asked to see things that aren't there. Kids are being asked to interact with the world that is not before your eyes. So, like I said, if you like stuff like Pan's Labyrinth or anything else that's like, or even take Iñárritu, for example, another great Mexican director. Birdman, where it's the magic realism behind this world of ours that can be so cruel. It's quite a hopeful story, it seems. I look forward to that.
Well, here is a phenomenal director, Alejandro Landes, who's come out now with Monos.
Monos, what praise again from the poster, which my eyes are not too bad to read this one, thank goodness. Stunning at the scale of Apocalypse Now. Who compares a movie by like a third-time director to one of the greatest films of all time? And then, equally importantly, again, Guillermo del Toro throwing in his weight behind Landes, mesmerizing, a powerful new voice in cinema. It seems like I think I got my quotes mixed up, but Guillermo was praising both Tigers Are Not Afraid and also Monos this time. He's saying this new voice. This, for me, I honestly don't know what I'm looking at. I'm instantly intrigued, and this is now at the top of my list of movies to look forward to in 2019. By the way, sorry, just the one that we just spoke about, Tigers Are Not Afraid, is probably coming out in America in August. Don't have a date in SA just yet, but this one is in America in September, so we might get similar sort of dates for this.
But we haven't got a confirmed date for this one.
No, not in SA just yet.
What is this about?
So it from the official synopsis, you get a sense that it's going to be sort of like a Lord of the Flies type thing. Remember that book we were all forced to read in high school? Kids trapped on an island. Everything seems hunky-dory, and then just
until it's not hunky-dory.
The violence of Leviathan bears down on them. So these kids are rebels in the movie shot in Colombia, but it's supposed to again feel like anywhere Latin America. And they're this guerrilla troop who I suppose are freedom fighters of some sort, and you have all the energy and exuberance of youth, and then that clashes similarly to Tigers Are Not Afraid with the realities of war. And can the innocence of youth survive that kind of thing? They've taken an American tourist hostage, and so it's a survival movie of them traveling through the jungle being hunted down. But goodness, I don't care about all of that. I couldn't, until I see it, I could describe it for you better, but just looking at those visuals, I'm so intrigued.
The trailer's not taking it quite there for you, but the one thing that we've picked up from both movies is that both are about taking you traveling into a whole new world that probably doesn't exist. Maybe it does exist and we just don't know. We haven't been taken there yet. These are trailers of movies that are yet to come out, just to whet your appetite a little bit. Thank you so much, JP Sebastian.
We'll chat about some more later.
We'll chat about some more a little bit later on,
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Yes, and allow us to take you back in the kitchen with a vanilla pudding that is such a classic dessert. And it's going to be super creamy and delicious because we're using Clover Classic Custard today. And here to show us how to make this decadent, smooth, and oh so sweet, self-saucing, baked vanilla pudding is Grace Stevens. Great to have you back in the kitchen with us, Gracie.
Thanks for having me.
Anything that looks like this belongs on my table.
Oh, that looks amazing, doesn't
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely. So what do we need to
Breakfast
make
of champions.
this Clover Classic pudding?
So we're going to start off with creaming our sugar and our butter.
Shall I help you with that? Okay,
Get that
cool.
nice and creamy.
I start off nice and slowly.
Yeah.
Nice and slowly there. Okay, there we go. 100. There we go.
So you get that so that it's nice and light and fluffy. And then it's as easy as adding the eggs. So you add eggs one at a time.
Turkey, and you can see it combining quite nicely there.
Yes, and so there's the second egg there.
Do you know when was the last time I did this?
When was this?
Wow. This was while my late grandma was still alive and I was helping her in the kitchen. I haven't used a kitchen mixer in a while.
Right, so the milk goes in there. And some vanilla, because it's a vanilla pudding.
Excellent. So this definitely does take me way back. Way back.
So do you want to know my secret ingredient?
Which is?
It's my Clover Classic vanilla flavored custard. So I'm going to put about half a cup of that in there too.
That's already doing the things. I think we got it nicely mixed, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we've got, of course, we can fold in our flour and our salt and our baking powder that goes in there.
So you're going to fold that in?
So we fold
with the
that
spatula,
in.
okay.
Should I do that?
You can do the folding. And
so-
I will, nice and dry.
And then I've got a nice prepared dish over there.
Which you've prepared with?
That I have. It's just got a little bit of spray in it, or you can rub some butter in there.
Okay, so whatever will just make it non-stick.
So we combine this and then we pop it in there and it goes in the oven for about 35 minutes.
That easy?
Yeah, at 180 degrees.
Wow.
And it's just so delicious. When it comes out, you've got to poke it with holes.
Yes.
Because we're going to make a sauce.
Okay, how about you start off with the
So let's
sauce
start
over
off with
there?
the sauce.
And I'm going
Let's
to
put
carry
the-
on doing the folding over here.
Brown sugar, butter, and some cream goes in there.
So sweet
Clover
dessert.
cream.
You might want to go for a 5K run after this, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth all that deliciousness.
And this just gets stirred until it's a nice, dissolved, yummy sauce. Look at that. So while your pudding is still hot,
Yes.
you poke the holes in it, and then you pour this delicious sauce on top of it. And then you serve it hot with extra Clover Classic vanilla flavored custard.
And of course, a great source of vitamins A, B2, and D as well. It's that creamy, smooth taste that takes you back. Show us that sauce into the camera. There.
Isn't this just so
Over there, camera
delicious?
5 is looking for you.
There we
go.
Oh, look at that. That's just so delicious. Yum.
Okay. Well, I'm
So
gonna
that's as easy as that. You're going to pour it into the...
I mean, even I could make this. I'd remember all the ingredients. All right, lovely stuff. And what do you have here? So is this a bit of extra sauce?
So that's my sauce. It's cooled a little bit. Can you see how sticky it is? You can pour it over and you can see just how sticky it gets.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to dish up a piece of that.
Oh, go
may
for it.
May I do that?
That's why I put the spoon there for
the
you.
photographers have done their thing. I'm just going to try and get a nice little piece so that you can see what it looks like on the inside as well.
That is not a little piece, Kat. That's a very ambitious piece.
Doing it for the gram. There we go.
Look at that. Now that's what a baked pudding should look like.
And just like that. And then,
Pour
like
some
you
extra
said,
sauce over it and then just
I'm gonna
nice.
get some more Clover Classic custard. I'll just to finish it off a little bit. Here we go. This should do the. And you can SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 and enjoy yourself.
So this is all
That
yoga, Kat. What is...
Right
What's your
now,
choice?
definitely this. All right, let's quickly show you how we made this wonderful, decadent, and delicious dessert.
Clover Classic Custard is the taste that takes you back. And some things just taste like home. Like this Clover Classic Custard Vanilla Pudding. Add half a cup of brown sugar to a quarter cup of clover butter. Then cream together until pale and fluffy. Add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla essence. Crack in 2 eggs. and add a 1/4 cup of Clover fresh full cream milk and a 1/2 cup of Clover classic custard. To a sieve, add 1.5 cups of self-raising flour and a teaspoon of salt. Sift together into the bowl and gently fold together to combine. Pour the pudding batter into a greased baking dish, then bake at 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes. To make the sauce, add a 1/4 cup of Clover butter, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, a cup of Clover fresh cream, and simmer for about 4 minutes, then take it off the heat. Poke a few holes in your baked vanilla pudding, then pour the sauce over the pudding and leave it to soak it all up for about 10 minutes. This delicious saucy sponge begs to be served with lashings of creamy Clover classic custard. So go ahead and do that before tucking in.
Made with love by Clover.
I mean, why do you want to wait for Sunday lunch when you can make this tonight?
Oh, absolutely.
How about that? Yeah.
Well, we don't have to make it because we can just take that home with us. How's that? Yeah.
You can SMS Clover to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list so that you can make your own Clover classic. What is that? You sound like that villain in the cartoons that's like there to steal the chicken.
Like Gargamel.
You can try it out. Here you go, sir.
Clover classic custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
What was that song?
Wow.
How is it?
Yum, eh? Oh.
I'd say.
That'll relax you. That'll relax you right down. That's beautiful,
So we
guys.
know
Well
where
done.
it's pudding over yogurt, right?
Oh, man, no, I think that the two work in perfect harmony.
Oh,
It's absolutely beautiful.
Gracie, thank you very much. Try out the recipe and let us know how yours turns out at home. I think we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back. And today's culinary hotline bling! We'll be lit.
The next brand ambassador starts 15th of August on SABC3.
I'm just here to show us the magic that lives inside of me.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
People think they know when they don't know.
Who did not pull their weight?
Just calm your farm. My heart sank. It's on.
Tune in on Thursday, 15th of August to watch the launch episode of the highly anticipated new reality series, The Next Brand Ambassador. SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. You are on the Feel Good Express. It is Expresso live right here at SABC3, the third and final hour of the show. And things are heating up in the kitchen because just shortly we're going to be taking it to the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Yes, that's right. We're also going to be taking it all the way to a cruise ship with Imagine Cruising. Right now, though, it's time for us to check out the news.
In the national news this morning, Eskom yesterday said the grid remained stable and there was enough power to meet the country's demands. This was not the case a few months ago when the power utility had to resort to stage 4 load shedding. It has since managed to keep the grid stable. Earlier, Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan said he expected President Cyril Ramaphosa to announce plans to unbundle Eskom into 3 entities later this month. Gordhan said government was finalizing timeframes to carry out the project. While Cape Town dam levels are at 80%, the highest in 4 years, Karoo farmers are holding panic at bay as the 5-year drought that's gripped the region shows no signs of abating. Crucial financial support resources are drying up as the Fodder Relief Fund is about to run out. Some herds have already been reduced, with only the core left. However, Agri Western Cape CEO Yanni Strydom says they are confident provincial and national governments will be able to continue supporting the worst affected farmers. Now moving further abroad, Ebola may soon be a preventable and treatable disease after a trial of 2 drugs showed significantly improved survival rates, scientists have said. 4 drugs were trialed on patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is a major outbreak of the virus. More than 90% of affected people can survive if treated early with the most effective drugs, the researchers showed. The drugs will now be used to treat all patients with the disease in the DRC, according to health officials. Flight check-in was suspended at Hong Kong International Airport for a second consecutive day because of anti-government protests. The airport, one of the world's busiest, has been the site of daily protests since Friday. Passengers struggled to get through demonstrators who were sitting inside and blocking departures. Outside the airport, police and protesters clashed, but the city's leader, Carrie Lam, still refuses to make any concessions to the protesters. Now, meanwhile, convoys of Chinese military police are mustering in the border city of Shenzhen. And then finally, with infectious diseases such as Ebola or the common cold or influenza very much in the news, using hand sanitizer has become common practice. But, says Professor Philip Tierno, a pathologist at New York University, the best way to stop the spread of potentially harmful germs is washing your hands with simple soap and water. He explained that soap and water can be more effective because some potentially harmful bacteria are not killed by alcohol-based sanitizers, while soap and water can do the job. However, for a significant wash, you should be rubbing your hands with soap and water for no less time than singing happy birthday twice. That should leave you with sparkling clean, germ-free hands. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
It's National Call-Up Day. Let's start with cricket. Fast bowler Anrich Nokia, batsman Rudy Second, and spin bowling all-rounder Sennaran Mutasamy are 3 uncapped players who have now been included in the Protea Test squad. That's for their 3-match tour of India in early October. The team has had to include a few new faces to the squad following the retirements of Dale Steyn and Hashim Amla, of course, last week. And the 15-man Test squad will be captained by Faf du Plessis. Then on to rugby. The Springboks have called up uncapped Western Province hooker Skara Ntobeni and his provincial teammate at Prop Wilco Low to join the squad in Pretoria as they prepare for their once-off test match against Los Pumas on Saturday. Regular captain Sia Khaleesi, his Western Province teammate Dylan Lates, and Marco van Staden from the Blue Bulls will also be returning to the squad. And coach Rassie Erasmus will name his team for the Argentinian squad later today, or for that test later today. Then staying with rugby, the Springbok women's team took one step closer to qualifying for the 2021 Women's Rugby World Cup. That was after claiming a 73-0 thrashing over Madagascar at the Bosman Stadium in Brakpan yesterday. Coach Stanley Robenheimer's team scored 13 tries in total, with Locke Wright's Makri scoring a hat-trick for the national team. This was the team's second win, with their first being another comprehensive 89-5 win over Uganda. So congratulations, ladies. And that's where we leave our sport for this morning.
Thank you so much, Graham. Let's take a final look at your roads. We start off in Limpopo, out in Giyani, Abusheni. On the R81 route, there is protest action between Giyani and Polokwane. Roads have been blocked by protesters, so please use an alternative route this morning. In the Western Cape, in Langa, there has been an accident on the N2 inbound. That's before Bunga Avenue. All lanes are open, but delays can still be expected, so please be patient on the roads this morning. And off to the trains, there is an extended travel time of 15 to 20 minutes. That's on the Cape Flats line due to defective track circuits at Salt River and sets out of service. Take it easy on the roads this morning. That's where we leave it for today. And now we take a look at your temperatures, but first a final look at those beautiful sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Louise Sherry for your sunrise from Blue Hills in Midrand, Jordan Lee Micah for your sunrise picture from Maun in Botswana, Dane Mokwena for your sunrise in Malibongwe Nature Reserve in Bela Bela, our regular photographer Fatah Khan for your sunrise picture from Richards Bay, as well as Soli Silepe out in Limpopo for your stunning picture. And lastly, our regular photographer, another one of them, Sam Cross for your beautiful picture out in Durban. Stunning work. We love it. Be like them tomorrow morning and get those pictures through to Expresso Morning Show SABC3. And now we take a look at your temperatures. Starting off in Polokwane with a low of 10, reaching a high of 27 degrees. Mbombela has the highest temperatures in the country. 15, your low, reaching a high of 32 degrees. If you're out in Pretoria, 11, reaching a max of 27 degrees. Johannesburg is nice and sunny today. 9, your low, reaching a high of 25. It's plenty of sunshine expected for Mahikeng today. 12, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Klerksdorp 6, reaching a high of 26. If you're out in Kimberley, 4 is your minimum and your maximum is 24 degrees. A cold start to the morning for Bloemfontein. It's 1, low, reaching a high of 28. And a couple of showers are expected for Richards Bay, 15 and 24. Pietermaritzburg 8, peaking at 24 degrees. And Durban, you will start off at 16, reaching a high of 23 degrees. Mthatha expects some high humidity over there today, 4, reaching a high of 23. And a southwesterly wind of 24 kilometers per hour. Out in East London, 12 is your minimum, your maximum 22 degrees. The lowest temperatures in the country today, that's Craddock -1, that's your low, and your high is 21 degrees. If you're out in Port Elizabeth, expect a southwesterly wind traveling at 28 kilometers per hour, 10 your minimum, reaching a maximum of 21 degrees. George 8 and 18. If you're out in Sutherland, 1, that's your low, and your high is 17 degrees. The mother city, Cape Town, high humidity for us here, it's at 9 minimum, reaching a maximum of 19 degrees. And Worcester 6 and 20, that's your maximum. Springbok 12 and 24. And lastly, Uppington 8 is your minimum, and you will peak at 26 degrees today. Well, that's a final look at your weather, and that's where we leave it for today.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. From Spain and Italy to India to the Maldives, even Northern Europe. We've been cruising quite literally around the globe with Paula from Imagine Cruising. I hope some of you out there have been able to join some of those incredible adventures already. But today we're continuing our travels in a very romantic sense down the River Danube with chef, author, and now culinary tour guide, Jenny Morris. One of my favorites. Think culinary experiences from the chocolate-laden Sachertorte of Vienna to the hearty goulash of Budapest. We'll be discovering the cities of the Danube through their cuisine, and is there no better way to explore a destination than through the food, through the cuisine? This is awesome. A gastronomic delight. Paula, set the scene for us. What is this particular focus for this cruise? Because this is quite different.
Yes, absolutely. This is a very unique and also exclusive package that we've got today, and it's the perfect getaway for those that want to actually embrace the love of all things culinary, and also while discovering the culture of Europe. So we've got the lovely Jenny Morris that will be joining us on this exclusive sailing.
That's
and
amazing, yeah.
exploring all of these lovely destinations. So we'll be actually visiting, we're going to be going on the Danube River, which is one of the largest rivers in and most famous
I was
rivers
going to
of
say
Europe.
it's going to be one of the most romanticized
Absolutely,
as well.
and it's the beautiful destinations
And it's
that you actually get to. Yes, very, she's just been, so you know, with her hubby. And what's nice is you get to visit places like Prague, Vienna, Budapest, and Bratislava. So it's really, really unique destinations that you'll actually get to see. And what we love about this, and we're really excited about this, is this is a once-off experience where you'll get to have the inclusions, which would be this book, Yamsha's book, a signed copy of Jenny Morris's book. And then you'll also get the welcome and farewell dinner hosted by Jenny Morris. And then in Prague, you'll also get to experience the medieval experience and dinner at the oldest pub in Prague.
Yeah, 13th century.
going back.
Just below all the beautiful castles and the Houses of Parliament. It's amazing.
It's really, really nice. And then also you'll get a choice of a market tour accompanied by Jenny, either in Prague, Vienna, or in Budapest.
Are you
and you
seeing
can
that
see
photo?
the fun that Jenny's having there.
That's how we know you, girl. That's how we know you.
So really a truly exciting and, I mean, it's a relaxing also holiday at its finest. You know?
It's a little bit of everything. It's a smorgasbord with Jenny at the helm, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Rosa Riva, no ordinary riverboat. How do we cruise down the River Danube? Talk us through the vessel.
So those that's already experienced river cruising will know it's very different to your ocean cruising. This is a much smaller and intimate cruise, which is nice because it actually allows them to dock within the heart of the destinations.
Yeah.
So you actually spend some time, longer periods, seeing these landmarks as you cruise about. And also the cuisine on board is amazing. Which,
do you know what I love about the food? Because this is something, the food is sort of very close to people's hearts.
Yes.
And I always go on holiday and think, oh, I'm not going to starve. They've got everything. Every night is a different cuisine and a different port. So they have these lovely themed dinners. The food, the sausages, the charcuterie, the cheeses. Oh, heaven help me, sister. The beers, everything culinary, the beautiful artisanal breads. They do everything on board. I've been in that galley. Shame those poor chefs. Little space, but what they
and you're not allowed back here.
No, I promise. It's just, and there's a beautiful soup every night. I mean, I ate all the dumplings when we were in Hungary because I thought you can go hungry. These are for me. They're light and they float and they're delicious. The food is abundant. It's fabulous.
Yes, and also you get your free meal drinks package with it, which is nice. You can enjoy your wine or your beer
with
on
your
board the
meals.
ship. And then above the ship, there's an open deck area where people can just relax and then sit by the whirlpool over there, or otherwise just sip your cocktails while you're watching the world go by.
Taking some of the most incredible
or play a little mini
sceneries.
putt-putt
But
that
you
they
have
have
to
on
duck
board.
when we go
Under the bridge.
You go flat.
So from Vienna to Budapest, the culture for me, I think, must stand out. You forget that foodie culture has been around for centuries.
Yes.
We love to think that we own it, but you are continuing such a proud tradition as a chef. Talk me through the cities and the itinerary.
Do you know what? Like Prague, for instance, I've discovered some wonderful things. I mean, there are still these communist restaurants. Because it was communist, you know. So everything is cheap. And you can go and eat, and you can sort of eat off these buffets. The beers are unbelievable. I mean,
It's
I'm not
now
really
the fourth
a beer
time
drinker.
you've mentioned the beers.
Yes, I
and
have to say, because the boys love the beers. The women were drinking these beautiful beers. And the women love beer. You get these beer snacks. So it's like a pickled sausage. Everything is pickled and delicious and amazing. And I'm like, I'm not going to put that sausage in my mouth. Well, let me tell you, I couldn't stop because I think, oh, it's pickled sausage. They go into pubs and they, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful dumplings, the goulashes, you'll find that all on the Danube because it's just that beautiful stew. That evening where that man, those men, gosh, what happens in Prague should stay in Prague.
But not on Insta, girl, not on Insta.
But it just that cultural thing. But you know, the palaces and
it's beautiful.
The history and the architecture is so well preserved. There's just something for everybody. But let me tell you something, that Prague Farmers Market doll, there's also one on the river with swans. You can feed the swans, steal the bread from breakfast. But I have to tell you, that market, everything, I don't want to give everything away because you've got to come with me to experience it, but from having fresh trout, you can just club it on the corp and they cook it there and then. You can smell the cherries because it's that August is summer and we're going in the end, so it's not too hot. But I came back with a suntan. Oh, hello, in winter coming back here. So Prague was amazing. And Vienna, if you want me to sort of touch on everything now, let me just spill the beans. Vienna was amazing. And if you think that was, it was a flop. That flop, the Danube.
The flop.
Yes, I was so shocked when that tour guide said to me, it was a flop. I said, don't talk rubbish. She said, when he first did it, it was a flop.
It was actually a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Word. Now the most iconic waltz.
But every wedding, hello. Da, 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 da. And at lunchtime, they have these sessions where you can actually go and waltz. They love dancing in Vienna. And the food is sachatot, darling, through the lips and on the hips, but you can walk it off. You know what I'm saying? And then I love the markets in Budapest. You've got Buda and you've got Pest. You've got Buda and you've got Pest. Fantastic, because it's divided by the river. One side is scenery and mountains and gorges. Other side's cafe society, lots of restaurants. Amazing. Now, when you are in Budapest, I made a gypsy fall in love with me. He was about that size.
You made
about
him
that size. That's this. You've got to do one of those cultural evenings with music.
Yes.
I mean, that's an extra. But absolutely amazing. The goulashes, dumplings, everything comes with dumplings. Now, if you think a dumpling's just like a little round thing, it can be a slice of dumpling. They have very amazing dumplings. They eat very little rice. They do have rice, and they do have potatoes. But it's not just all about goulash. There's just everything. In the Budapest market, I mean, they've got all this beautiful street food on the top. I'll tell you about those later when we start cooking.
We are going to put you to work in the kitchen. You can't talk about this much food and not actually make us something this morning.
And you know, one of the highlights, Bratislava was amazing. You know, you've got your beautiful castles and things like that.
The history of
the
it, too.
Wachau. Watchow. That passage is the most incredible thing. You can smell the apricots as you go past. It's agricultural. You can see all the vines on the slopes of the mountain. The architecture, there are beautiful chapels, and I mean, just you could sit off the boat and relax, be lazy and laid back, and just take in everything without moving. Moving off that ship. And it's a ship, it's not a boat, it's a girl.
It's a girl. She's a lady.
Yeah, she's a lady
of note.
But my highlight was milk. Everything was a highlight, but milk is where you end your journey.
Yes.
Do you know that in milk, they've got this abbey, and there are still 33 monks, Benedictine monks, and it's a working abbey, so the kids go to school there. They have the most amazing choir, gymnasiums, but they also have lovely food. Now, I promise you, I love God, and God knows that I'm a sinner, and He had to forgive me because I couldn't concentrate on Him when I was in that abbey.
He was testing you,
rock
Jenny.
beauty of note.
But I think it's the history. You've got the balance of all of these amazing experiences. And I mean, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yes.
You're always passionate, but to see you with the childlike excitement like this, you know the eating must be good. And again, we're going to reiterate, around this time of the year, it's next year, 2020, around the 26th of August, is when you set sail on that gorgeous, gorgeous ship. So let's get into the broader kind of package that's on offer here, because we clearly are squeezing in a huge amount. So encapsulate that package for us, and what are we talking price-wise?
Okay, so the price is starting from 42,999 per person sharing. This includes your flights ex-Johannesburg, it includes your airport taxes, it includes all your transfers, and then you have your 3-night stay at the Prague Hotel on a bed and breakfast basis. And then one of the evenings there you have the medieval.
On the train.
And you get
on the train.
You get the 2-day metro pass, and then while you're in Prague, you'll get the experience of the medieval evening with dinner, hosted by Jenny at one of the at the oldest Prague pub in Prague, and then you go on board the Rosa River. That ship is absolutely beautiful. You spend 7 nights on board the ship, including breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all snacks on board the ship, and your free mealtime drinks that you have on board, and
your
then
beer.
And then you get, like I mentioned earlier, you get your free signed copy, Jenny's Yamsha's book, and everyone will get one of these. And then also you have the welcome and farewell dinner hosted by Jenny, and then obviously you've got the choice of the market, where you can choose to go with Jenny either in Prague, Vienna, or even Budapest. So really a truly wonderful once-off experience. So Jenny, leaving on the 26th of August, and our staff's already ready to take your call.
But can I quickly say something? If they want to extend their stay once we get to Germany,
they can if they'd like to.
They speak nicely to you. But you know what? Just so that you know, if you think you're going on a boring coach trip, you know, when we go from Prague now to Engelhausen, which I think it means Angel's Heart, my bus driver kept saying, Tulawena, keep quiet, because the cherry trees on the freeway full of fruit. I said, can you stop so we can pick? He said, no, it's too dangerous.
I don't think there's anything quiet when you are involved, and it is your job to be the tour guide. You're allowed to pick up that mic and do what you need to do. And it also feels there's depth, there's layers to this. It's not just about enjoying the food.
No, it's beautiful.
I can feel that, I can sense that this has kind of given you a really magical experience, and that's something romantic, something really social, where you can make new friends.
Cultural.
Where you can make friends with Jenny, which is tough. It's very difficult to break that wall down. But it just seems, I keep going back to the idea of romance, and I think this part of the world has got its fairy book, fairy tale kind of stuff. But just looking at those images, the fact that you are literally sailing through centuries worth of culture, beautiful stuff. I'm inspired.
And jealous.
I'm fiercely jealous, and because I love each one that we do more than the last, just because I get to live each one, and I'm thinking, how do you even choose? But this, I think you might deserve this one, and if this has inspired you in any way, and you can almost taste it, stay tuned, because we're going to be cooking up a European storm featuring some of the mouth-watering Danube City-inspired dishes for our culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing.
I mean, I don't know. I want to get on that package. I want to get on that trip.
It sounds magical, and of course, with Jenny Morris by your side, you are going to have a ball of a time. Talking about Jenny Morris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you know what's coming up after the break?
Well, of course. Okay.
Oh,
well, I'm still on the
gosh.
holiday, but of course, coming up after the break, we're still going to take it to the kitchen. It's the culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. After the break.
Oh, totally so special.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean one thing.
It means one thing on a Wednesday morning when you tuned in, and it's time for the culinary hotline bling. Call the whole neighborhood. We're going traveling, okay? Today we're exploring the wonderfully diverse cuisine of Hungary and Austria. And here to give you a culinary tour is the legendary queen of the seas, the one and only Jenny Morris, and joining her, of course, our in-house foodie, Anel Potgieter. Good to have you ladies here.
Hello, Kat.
You're geld, as they say in Hungarian.
Goeiemorgen.
That is the common greeting in the morning.
I love it when you
Geld.
speak foreign to me.
It's because you klits my...
My eier.
Anyway, let's keep it calm. Let's keep it calm, ladies. So when one gets to Hungary, have you both been to Budapest?
I have.
You've been to Budapest.
Yeah.
What's the kind of culinary scene you're likely to find there? What's the food like?
Goulash, Jen.
Goulash is amazing, and it's a rich, delicious.
Yeah, it's a stew of beef and tomato and paprika.
Yes.
Paprika is big in Budapest.
And you know, they put a little bit of caraway seed in it. They do it different. It's like a masala. It's like an Indian curry. It's lovely. Nelly, it is delicious.
I never even thought about caraway seed because caraway goes to Indian cuisine. You know what I'm saying? In my head.
As you were describing that, I was getting the image of that dark, brothy, saucy, stewy kind of
and it's
dish.
rich and decadent, let me tell you. But paprika.
Yeah, it's huge.
Paprika, they've got every kind of paprika that you could ever think of. And you know, it's an interesting thing. I always thought many, many years ago that paprika was just made from chilies, but it's not. It's a capsicum. It's a red pepper.
Yeah, it's a red pepper. Yeah,
okay.
It's a red pepper.
Yeah,
they've ground up into a fine
They
powder.
first dehydrate it, and then you get your hot, your smoky, your sweet.
So all those different flavor profiles you can get there.
Yes.
So goulashes are a thing.
Yeah, then they've got an interesting bread. Please read the name because I forget the name.
It's called a kurtos kalaks.
What do we call it, Dom?
We call it a chimney cake.
Oh, no, that's the cake. The bread is the deep fried.
Oh, sorry, we talk about the
she's got a
chimney
sweet
cake.
tooth.
The chimney cake that they
Which is
bake
the
over.
kurtos kalaks.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Lagos.
That's what it looks like. That's what a kurtos kalaks looks
Yeah,
like.
that's what it's like.
I feel like I'm saying it so well.
I know. It reminds me of the South African, you weet die stokbrood that we do over the braai.
Yeah, a roosterbrood. Is that a rooster?
Yeah,
No, that's the rooster. Stokbrood.
Yeah, it's a
where you take like this deeg and you find a random clean stick and you
But this got sugar
clean
all
it
over.
and you pop it on
And
there.
they stuff it with ice cream and there are shops there are those, what are those called? Cone breads? What's the name now?
Chimney
Let me
cakes.
forget.
Chimney cakes.
Yes.
Chimney
cake shops everywhere.
Lovely, lovely stuff. And pancakes are a big thing.
Oh, it's
in Hungary. How do they make them different to what we?
They deep fry it. They deep fry a dough, and you actually can get it at markets in South Africa now. Then they deep fry this dough, and they put some sour cream and cheese and chives on, and you just put it in your mouth and enjoy it.
Or they bake it like a pizza.
It basically looks like a very flattened out iguinha.
It's nice. It's exactly that.
That married a pizza.
It's married. No, well, it's just having an affair with a pizza. It goes back.
It goes back to Budapest. All right, so what do you got going in there now?
I'm going to make like a normal pancake.
Okay, but of course we've got to spice it up a little bit. You're going to make it look interesting, right?
Yeah. So I'm just going to make first the pancake better.
Better.
It's got some eggs, some milk, some flour. No, flour is still coming, and some oil in here. And this is Jen's recipe, and then we're going to add the dry ingredients.
Which is flour. Give some salt in there.
And Jen, you've got a very interesting soda water that you add here at the end. What is this about?
That is the secret that I got out of Klaus.
Oh, yes?
Klaus is the chef.
Who's Klaus?
He was on the riverboat.
How did you get the secret out of Klaus?
I went into his dungeon, his kitchen. What do you call that place?
It's
the galley. And they serve it sweet, they serve it savoury.
Wow.
I'm going to try and make
pancake
one,
is also one of those things that when made right in a household, it can be the most welcoming dish.
Absolutely.
Or little treat to receive when somebody says, hey, here's some pancakes and a coffee or a tea or however you like to have them.
This dough is a bit, I will have to thin it out a bit and it water it like
I love it. It's nutty butter.
Oh.
Lovely nutty butter. And it's a savoury one, remember?
We're going to make a savoury one.
And you know, you always make that first one and you give it to the family or the dog.
No.
Oh, that first one goes to the dog.
Don't go to my dogs. No.
Listen, if you're looking to make this kind kind of pancake,
Oops,
the
sorry.
secret of which
So it's always
comes
a
from
flop.
Klaus's kitchen. Then you want to SMS the keyword EAT to 33728, and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as an ingredients list. It's looking good.
The first one is always a flop. Just remember that.
Yeah, free tasting.
So,
free
but look
tasting
how
there.
beautiful it is. You see
Yeah.
what? You see how it gets all those bubbles.
I'm going to try
That's
another
what
one.
the soda
So it
water
does. It
does.
just lightens
Yeah.
it. Thank you, Klaus.
Yeah, Anel, it's starting to look like a scrambled egg. You better move on to the next one now.
First one, it's called seasoning the pan.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could have made him do it and make him
Learn
look
new
silly.
I'm going to
things
make another
every
one, and I'm
day.
going to show you.
Lovely.
Listen, if you've maybe been to Austria or to Hungary and you've had some of the food over there, maybe let us know on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. We would love to know about some of the culinary adventures you've had while you're there. I've got a feeling this one is going to turn out absolutely perfect. It's
going to be
We've learned thus far that goulashes are a thing in Hungary, in Budapest. The kurtos kalaks, the chimney cake, is one, and pancakes are a big thing as well. The integration of paprika as a spice into those goulashes is absolutely wonderful. So we'd love to hear more travel and culinary stories from you if you've visited any of these two destinations that we're focusing on today. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we explore the cuisine of Austria. Yeah, auf Wiedersehen.
Hi, my name is Simphiwe Ngema and I play Pindile Shezi on Isidingo. And you could be joining me on Tropica Island of Treasure. I'm so excited to be going to the island, and one thing that I'm looking forward to is just being in my bikini the whole day and just having fun and being part of the games and winning. I'm very competitive. To join me on the island, buy a Tropica and follow the instructions on the bottle. Take a video of yourself and tell us why you would be my ideal partner. Then upload it on all the social media platforms, your Twitter, your Instagram, and your Facebook using the hashtag TIOT9. So these are my tips for the audition video. You have to be yourself, have a great personality, and just stand out as a person so that I know that, okay, that's the one that I want to be with, and be fun. Come find your smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure Carousel.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean one
Welcome
thing.
back to it. It's a Wednesday morning and time for the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. And it's delightful. It's delicious. It smells like pancake filling in the kitchen. We're still in Hungary, by the way, with Jenny Morris and Anel Potlik. And by the way, I've just found out that a popular phrase that you need to know when you're in Budapest, in Hungary, you want to say hello. You say, sziasztok.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. Let's try sziasztok.
No, sziasztok.
Sziasztok.
Yeah, you see,
Sziasztok.
I see a stock.
Sziasztok.
I see you.
Sziasztoko. That means something completely different in South Africa. But anyway, all right. So now that we've made those delicious pancakes, a la Jenny Morris bubbly style.
Yeah.
Thank you, Klaus. What kind of filling are we putting inside them?
For sure, we're going to make a paprika chicken filling. Because
paprika is so
a big
easy.
thing.
Absolutely.
And Jenny, the markets there, those are gorgeous, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Do you know that when you go into the market, yes, you want to say something?
I wanted to say something. The way that you were sweating those onions right now is delicious to my eyes.
Yes.
I've been, I don't know if it's my stove at home, but I've been trying to find that perfect temperature and the quantity of oil to sweat the onions so beautifully. Teach me your ways.
It's half and half, doll. Half butter, half oil.
Oh,
and go
always.
slow.
Yeah.
Go slow. It's got natural sugar, so let it just... Don't be impatient like men normally are. Stop it.
Typical man.
Typical man. Absolutely.
Okay. All right,
Right,
please.
that market.
Jenny, the market.
You know, I have to tell you that the Budapest market is incredible. It's got 3 floors, and you always start on the bottom and you work your way. Are you listening? From the bottom and you work your way to the top.
Absolutely.
And then what
As one
happens,
does.
As one does. And on the bottom, you know what made my heart so glad, and I brought a tear to my eye.
What's that?
Because they still do things the old-fashioned way. They have lots of pickles. And there was this lady, and now she was like this size.
Yeah?
This size?
Yeah, this size, standing on a
this
box.
size?
That size, doll.
Okay.
And standing on a crate, on a box, and she was standing there with this frame with a big blade in it.
Yes.
And she was doing this to the cabbages. Everything by hand, the way they did it 100 years ago. I thought, Mama, you need music. You need to pata-pata to
That's
that.
amazing.
It was unbelievable. Then you've got the fish. Yes, on Malchan. The beauty of the fish, the meat.
Fresh fish.
Everything on the bottom is beautiful and fresh. Then you go to the second floor. Oh my goodness, you get paprika out. Here's a hint and a tip. Don't buy paprika in the beginning of the market. Go to the end.
Oh.
Cheaper.
Really?
Much cheaper.
Okay.
And
There you
every
go.
kind of paprika that you could think of.
Smoky.
Unbelievable.
Colourful.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then you go to the top.
And what's at the top?
Oh, it's so delicious.
Yes.
What is on
Tell us
top?
about the top.
It's not inside, it's on top.
top.
It's that stuff that you were talking about, that cook.
Oh,
What's that
okay,
cook?
yeah.
Chimney cook. Chimney cakes.
The kurtoskala.
Yeah. Oh, hello. This is such a little show off.
We're working really hard on that.
And the bread, you know, the deep fried breads, they make the most beautiful stuffed vegetables.
Oh, my.
All of that. And then, of course, you get the normal touristy things, you know, like
Yes.
the fridge magnets, and there's some lovely clothes. The clothes are beautiful. Lovely tablecloths. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So there's lots happening in the markets.
Lovely stuff. So, to that, Anel, after the onions, you've added a little bit of chicken and mushroom.
Yeah. And we're going to add paprika.
This is now the key ingredient that makes it extra Hungarian, extra Budapest.
Yeah.
That's
This is some white pepper here, Jen, or what
white
is this?
pepper, you could use both.
Okay.
And some salt goes into there.
Some
and,
salt.
And of course the tomato puree just gives it that richness, you know, that lovely
It lets
bright.
it bubble.
Yes, makes it happen.
All right. SMS the keyword chicken to 33728 so that we'll send you a link to the recipe to make your own paprika chicken filling for those beautiful pancakes.
There must be beautiful panoramic views when you go on a boat through there.
You don't understand all along. I mean, that whole cruise is, you, as I was just saying earlier to Paula, you don't have to leave the boat.
Yeah.
To find anything. You know, you have all this gorgeousness, but when you get into the cities, up on the hill, not only will you find Jamie Oliver doll, but his restaurant, it's got free Wi-Fi everywhere, but they have got these cathedrals, and they have got this lookout, you want to die, and everything is so ancient and so well preserved. And Houdini
It sounds like you're stepping into a time capsule.
It is a time capsule. It's absolutely incredible, and it's so easy to get around. Even if you're not joining a tour, they've got the red bus. They've got these funny little buggies.
Hop on, hop off.
Everywhere, doll. Everywhere. So you don't have to feel like you're confined, you know, like you have to be running around. You want to put this here, Matuti?
I'm very, very excited for this right now.
Are you
Please go
excited?
ahead. I just had to take a little gander and
Doesn't
stir.
that look beautiful?
It does look beautiful. I don't know if the chicken is 100% cooked. I'm going to look at this. I think it is nearly there.
Yeah, we don't want to dry.
I'm going to add some of this chicken in here.
Oh, look at you. All right, so SMS the keyword chicken to 33728.
And then we're going to serve it.
I'm salivating.
Are you salivating?
Crazy.
Look at this pancake. Do you see it looks like lace?
Yeah, it does. It does look like lace now that you mention it.
Thank you, Klaus.
Would this be at the bottom, at the top?
That will be on the top. If you're going to roll
made
it,
it drop.
doesn't matter. If she's going to serve it in a pile now. But if Anel was going to serve the whole lot on top, Manunki, it looks lovely.
Would you like a spoon, Anel? Just to spoon. Oh, there we go.
There we go. But if you were going to do it the other way around, that would be your presentation side. So you would flip it.
Brilliant.
And Jen, a lot of sauce, eh?
Oh,
you like
yes,
the
darling.
sauce.
You like a lot of sauce.
I love a saucy dish.
Gorgeous.
And then you just fold it like that now.
Yes. And you can even roll it. I leave it like that.
Look at you with the presentation. Because you just want to be fancy.
She is fancy.
Because the gram is life. Yes.
Yeah, that's my girl.
You know, there's something just about eating with your eyes first.
Smell that, Jen. That paprika.
And that's my own recipe, see?
I know.
So I don't know if the Hungarians will like it, but I know you're going to.
I am
just taste the
Hungarian
sauce.
Give him
for
more
a
sauce.
bite. Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can find
Don't hurt that. Take it out the pan.
Okay, I won't hurt it. I won't hurt it. I need just a little bit of that sauce. Maar dit is een stukje hoender. Je geeft mij die hele hoender.
And afterwards you're going to have a mushroom.
It's so hot.
His mouth's watering. I like it. Lick it. Yum, yum.
Okay, I also want to taste cat. You can't just be all on your own. I'm going to put some on my hand here.
Oh, mama, je gaat brand.
Oh, my word.
Oh, with that,
love it.
on that delicious note, we're going to go to another break.
Yeah.
See you just now. Wait.
The next brand ambassador starts 15th of August on SABC3.
I'm just here to show the magic that lives inside of me.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
People think they know when they don't know.
Who did not pull their weight?
Just calm your farm. My heart sank. It's on.
Tune in on Thursday, 15th of August to watch the launch episode of the highly anticipated new reality series, The Next Brand Ambassador. SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only
Welcome back to the delicious part of the show known as the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing. Although this part of it, we're gonna go la da 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 da. Sing. Why? Because we are in Vienna. We're in Austria. We're traveling the world, and of course, Austria, known for the majestic Danube River, for Mozart's concertos, for Wiener Schnitzels, plum sweet apricots, and so today, Jenny and Anel. Oh, Greg, bless you. Where are you? In my head. Is it that music? It's beautiful. Sing, 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 sing. We prepare scrumptious dishes from this part of the world that you'll be exploring soon as well. Is that not
well,
so?
Well, next year, darling, on the 26th, we leave from Johannesburg. So
yes.
We've got lots of time to book your ticket. Yeah. Book your ticket now.
We'll tell you all about that later on. So, when one does think about Austria and Vienna, you think about Johann Strauss, you think about Mozart, you think of the Vienna Boys Choir, if you're that way inclined as well.
Yes.
When it comes to a food perspective, what do you think of?
My husband thinks of Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Everyone.
Wiener Schnitzel.
And you know, they make them as big as this. They're bigger.
Really?
You can't even fit them on the plate. They beat them out to they are like less.
Do they serve that in the markets as well?
Everywhere.
They call it Nash market?
Nash, but Nash means to eat. It means to
Nash
nash.
market.
Yeah,
So
nashing.
it's a food market.
Can I tell you about the Nash market?
Please do.
You know what? Wine tasting, cheese tasting, charcuterie, all the sausages, salamis, and whatever you want. They still do barrels of pickles. So you can buy the pickle and eat it, suck it, chew it, swallow it right there.
Yeah.
But they have a balsamic taster. And so all these balsamic, they're all barrel, obviously done, and they give you a little dropper, and you do that. Now, my son Ryan loves balsamic vinegar, and so as David, my husband. So he says, let's buy some of this balsamic and take it home. Word of warning, ask how much. Only this one, only this one. How much? So we bought 500 mils for Ryan and 500 mils for David. It was 2,600 rand.
La 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 la.
The man nearly plucked. He's just had a quadruple bypass and is from paying that for the balsamic. I'm not joking.
Is it that good though?
Is it that
good?
And it's under lock and key.
Oh wow!
God forbid
only,
someone just
only for the special guests.
Only for special people you can have.
Excellent.
But, yeah. So if you are doing that, Anel, that is something you have to ask for that one.
Excellent. All right. I was surprised to hear that the humble appelkoers is so popular in
I didn't know
Vienna.
either.
Let me tell you, they celebrate it. In Vienna, you will get this dumpling, a cream cheese dumpling. Heaven help me. And what they do is they stuff it with a whole apricot, and for the children, they sometimes leave the stone in, even for big people, because then it's like, then you get a prize, you know, if you have it. But you know what they do? They take breadcrumbs, ordinary bread, and caster sugar, and they take butter. And they toast that. And now you cannot believe how delicious that is. So they boil the dumpling, and then they roll it in these crumbs. I want to die.
Wow. Do they deep fry it or not?
Yes, deep
After they've boiled it, because it sounds like it's a deep frying oven.
No, first what they do is they boil it, and then when it's up and gnocchi, it goes bloop, bloop, bloop to the top, and then they roll it, and you don't even have to deep fry it.
Sure.
Because those crumbs are toasted. It is absolutely delicious.
And then you bite into it, and then there's the pip inside, and you get it, and then you get a hooba hash on. It's beautiful.
And then you go to the dentist.
There's good dentists in Prague, just by the way. I've experienced it. But then they've got liqueurs, and they've got apricot beer and apricot wine.
Oh, wow.
Look at those apricots. I mean, you just want to die. You can smell them.
I can smell the one in the pot over there. What are you doing to that apricot?
It's not apricot season now, so we've got some dried apricot. Is it like Turkish apricots?
Turkish apricots
are delicious. So we just fried them off a bit, and I'm going to put some apricot jam in. This is also Jen's recipe. Jen, help me here.
That's easy, Papa. And now what you do is you just put a bicky.
Okay. Your recipe has also got alcohol in brandy.
I know, but not today.
Not today. Not on the show.
Do some of this, Nelly.
So you've got a bit of
must I do that?
lemon rind.
Okay.
So essentially,
Lemon
what are we
rind.
making there?
We're making a filling. Now, when we were in Milk, which is also right down, not
Milk.
even in Vienna.
They've got a place called Milk.
Yes, M-E-L-K. It's easy to remember.
Wow.
Cows there?
Yeah, they do. They make ricotta cheese. I had a pancake with, because the Wachau Valley is where they grow these. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at me.
That's you.
How pretty is that?
beautiful.
The castle, not me, the castle. And so wherever you go, actually, all along the Danube at this time of year, they just celebrate. They celebrate the pancake, and this has got ricotta in it, and it's got this apricot filling, and it is heavenly. And I like to throw brandy on it and set it alight. I wanted to shock you today, but they didn't give us brandy.
Yeah, I know.
So
We're not covered
gonna
for
make
that,
fire. We've made fire together before.
We absolutely have. How's that turning out there?
It's very interesting for me. I've never done something like this before, and it's so easy. So it's just dried apricots, apricot jam, a bit of lemon to tone it down, the sweetness of it.
And you can squeeze some in if you want as well.
Squeeze some in. Let me just get a knife. So
While you do that, let me talk to everyone at home. Of course, if you see yourself joining Jenny on a culinary cruise along the River Danube, that it's something to look forward to, something to put on your bucket list. Then look no further than this trip that starts off at 42,999 Rand, and you could set sail on a 10-night adventure, giving you a taste of the Danube. And so to learn more about this experience, head on over to imaginecruising.co.za, or you can dial the number 086 177 7245.
Love it.
Jen, is this too thin?
No, it's beautiful. I like it runny.
Do you like it runny?
I like it runny. Do this, Mama. You put
Okay,
in.
so must I just put some in there? I'm going to use that spoon
Use it.
there.
I'm going to go to the pantry and get us a plate.
All right, while you do that, you can SMS the keyword SWEET to 33728,
in there.
and we'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the
So
ingredients.
just like
looks
that,
amazing.
Jen.
Beautiful. Some ricotta.
Okay, then I'm going to put that over there.
Oops, so be careful with it.
No, we're big girls. We like big.
There we go.
So must
That's
I put
nice.
more in?
No.
Is that enough?
Yes, that's gorgeous.
Okay, so just with a bit of ricotta for some creaminess.
Oh,
Gosh.
Fill it, Mummy. Let's
Must
make
I
it
fill
big
it?
and bold. No,
Okay.
we loud and proud. Put it in.
By the way, just to kind of quickly recap, while on this cruise, are you going to be giving some lessons, some cooking classes? Yes? You are going to do that.
We're going to cook on board the ship. We're going to do some beautiful dinners. We're going to just do lots and lots of things. We're going
It's
to
gonna be a lot
shop
of
till
fun.
we drop. We're going to go and to markets, and we're going to go the markets.
Yes. From the bottom
To
up,
the
like
top,
you said.
yes. No, but even the fresh markets, like outside
Yes.
farmers markets, so the weather's good.
Is that the paprika?
Yes, that's the market.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, look
market.
at that. That is amazing.
You cannot believe all the freshness.
So that could certainly be on your travel bucket list. And as I said, head on over to Imagine Cruise.
This market reminds me of Barcelona market.
ImagineCruising.co.za is the website for you to visit, and you can also dial 086 177 7245 to learn more about that cruise. 10 nights alongside Jenny Morris and all kinds of fabulous people. All right, we're going to have a
You're going to have
taste of
a...
that.
Yeah, you're going to have to
Don't
taste.
burn. Be careful. Blow it. Blow it. Blow it.
I want to taste it as well.
Be careful. This bottom has got jam in it.
Do
you like it?
Oh, I love it.
That's exceptional.
It's nice, eh?
That's sehr schön. Sehr schön. Wonderful stuff. We're going to take a break. See you on the other side.
What?
That's really good.
My name is Nadia Jafta. I am a South African influencer / entertainer, and you probably best know me for my videos on YouTube and Instagram. To join me on the island, all you have to do is buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the bottle, take a video of yourself telling me why you would be my ideal partner, and upload it onto all social media platforms with the hashtag TIOT9. Join me in paradise and come find your smooth fame and fortune.
feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean. Welcome back to it. The Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. Has been on a tour of Hungary and Austria. We've been to Budapest and to Vienna, exploring the culinary delights with Jenny Morris and Anel Potgieter. And of course, we wanted to hear from you about some of the best food experiences you've had. So, Leon Mostert went about commenting on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, saying this: the best memory of Hungary, food-wise, was wild boar stew. Had it every night at a local pub. Amazing.
Ja.
Even had that? Wilde vark.
Wilde vark.
Ik dacht, gewoon mak hem mal. Mak hem.
Yeah? So what do you say about that?
I think it's fantastic because they even do wild boar in South Africa now as well. You know, so I think it's probably also with some paprika and tomato and potatoes and peppers. So I thought, yummy.
Oh, I'm just taken by those wonderful visuals. Jace Dean Boren says Hungarian cuisine, which needs to be tried, is lekso. Since I've been living in Budapest, that's my favorite local dish.
What's in that stew again?
It's a vegetable stew, as I can remember, with some peppers and vegetables. Yeah.
Nice.
And of course,
also tomato and paprika. Always tomato and paprika.
Yeah, great combination, as we've noticed over here with that wonderful chicken paprika filling that we made. Then Odette Boren says, I wonder if she's related to the other Boren, to Jace Boren. Anyway, said, I was fortunate to taste Hungarian cuisine a year ago when we were in Budapest for my son's wedding. Loved Budapest and its history, and the food was amazing.
It is. It's honest and delicious. It really is good.
Chadwick Holtman says, yummy. Does pancake filling have to be sweet? Well, clearly not.
No.
We made it savory and sweet.
Yes.
Have your pick.
So pancake can be anything, especially chicken and beef with mushrooms.
You put papueti in there, it'll be nice.
South African version. Mobile Butelezi says, I'm in a banter lifestyle. I'm probably banting, but sometimes feel like having some pancakes. Any recipe? So maybe if we could take this recipe and bant it. Can we bant it?
There's flour in this. So flour. Yeah, but you're going to have to use almond flour or coconut flour as well. You know, and there won't be any gluten to it or anything like that. So I think you must Google a banting pancake recipe first, or just have the filling.
Do you know what? Do me a favour, just make it thin like that and put lots of meat in it.
You know what I would suggest? You can make a very thin pancake from eggs, just eggs, like a thin omelette, and then you can fill it up with all the things.
Renette Kupke says, ooh, Jenny, if I were with you every day, I would start looking like an Oros guy. I would eat all day and have bad cholesterol. Oh, my goodness. Fred Lentur says, those two are naughty, especially Jenny. Julie Holt says, hello, Jennifer Morris and friends. Been to Budapest in 2004 and was mesmerizing. Ate everything, walked early mornings daily over the different Danube bridges. You're taking Annika, Ekengren and I back to good times. So clearly very, very good memories there.
Such a romantic city.
It is.
Oh,
it
all
is
the
really.
museums as well, and the
music,
buildings and the music.
The gypsy violins. You would go mad.
I think I would love it.
I was having this experience with a little round gypsy man with his violin.
Yes.
And behind me,
Did he enchant you?
Oh my, I cried. He did Ave Maria. And behind me was a Japanese man, and he started to sing because they just evoke this stuff comes out of you.
Wow.
And this man, you would sing automatically. You wouldn't be able to help yourself.
Wow.
It's that romantic gypsy. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also somebody who was enchanted by our recipes is Tanya Mart, who says, morning guys, that paprika chicken looks so good. And it really was. That's after the gypsy man sang.
That's Wasif.
And is that the gypsy man? No, that's not the gypsy man.
No, that's Wasif.
That's
Who's
Wasif.
Wasif? He's wingman communications. He looks after me. Why is he saying that? I was pinching his bottom.
Oh my gosh. All right, may I invite the team in here? You guys have to all come in here and taste the wonderful delights that we've made. And of course, along with our friends at Imagine Cruising, you can experience a wonderful getaway, 10-night cruise. That cruise sounds like it's going to be amazing. If this is anything to go by, and this was only about, what, 15 minutes of cooking, and you're going to have 10 nights aboard a cruise ship and be able to be in the company.
And you don't get fat because there's so much to walk off.
Yes.
And so much to see. Serious.
You must be very excited about it.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't wait to have Jenny Morris on board the ship with us. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. And you can just imagine with her. And the experience of it is just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So
It's not
come
just
join
going to
us.
be amazing, it's also going to be yumptious.
And the value for money. I have to talk about the value for money because I am a culinary tour guide.
Yeah.
The value for money is amazing.
That's crazy.
Well, you've lived it. You've lived
And there's
it.
no
When do you
end.
taste?
You can taste right now while I tell everyone. So if you'd like more information on that cruise, then you can visit imaginecruising.co.za or dial 086-177-7245. Please, guys, dig in. On that note, I'm going to pass this around and we're going to say goodbye to you. We'll see you again bright and early tomorrow morning.
We love you.
Make someone smile out there.
It all looks so beautiful.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.